Okay. Any doubts from the last few classes? Tricks of use?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So we will begin with part 3 of our classes. Okay. MCQ solving skills. Okay. See, today's class is really important. I mean, obviously, previous classes were also important, but gradually we are taking up more and more, higher level tricks. So higher level means कि देखो first classes रे भी जहाँ किसी tricks हमें ଶିଖିଥିଲୁ ପ୍ରାୟ ସବୁ ପିଲା ସେ ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ୟୁଜ କରିବେ ଓକେ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ କ୍ଲାसेस ରେ ଯାହା ୟୁଜ କରିଥିଲୁ ଟ୍ରିକ୍ସ ଶିଖିଥିଲୁ ଅଳ୍ପ କିଛି ପିଲା ୟୁଜ କରିବେ ଥର୍ଡ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଫୋର୍ଥ କ୍ଲାसेस ରେ ଯୋଉ ଟ୍ରିକ୍ସ ଅଛି ବହୁତ କମ ପିଲା ୟୁଜ କରିବେ and the reason is कि एते intuitive नुहं एई सब ट्रिक्स गुडा ଟିକେ काउंटर इंटुइटिव ट्रिक्स इनिशियल जो ट्रिक्स गुडा हम डिस्कस करथिलु सेगुडा इंटुइटिव ट्रिक्स जेंति कि एक्सट्रीम स्टेटमेंट एग्जैजरेशन सो दीस आर इंटुइटिव but now we are going on higher level tricks and you will also get a newer perspective because the tricks गुडा कोन स्पेसिफिकली के जने नाम मेंशन करके बुझेले then you when you see this in the exam hall you will understand कि okay this is that kind of trick that I have to use so say confidence का build हो okay the trick रहा पूरा माने completely with name you know what kind of trick it is then you build a sort of confidence कि you can mark it right or wrong accordingly okay so let's move on by the way this trick we have already covered but I thought you should just revise it once. So 11th number trick is organization, ministries, departments, groups. These are usually wrong. Okay. Why it is usually wrong? Because it is very easy to change. Very easy to change. So why will they give you the right kind of thing? For example, suppose they are saying some, let's say some scheme, which they are saying, let's say ki Swadesh Darshan. Okay. So this can be the purpose of the scheme is let's say कि NRIs or माने PIOs एମାନଙ୍କୁ ଆମେ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆ ଦର୍ଶନ କରିବୁ or even Indians ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆ ଦର୍ଶନ କରିବୁ. So it could be think about it. It could be done by either of two ministries. It could be done by ministries of external affairs. It could also be done by Ministry of Culture. So what they will do is they will give you one such ministry which will not actually be the correct answer. So you have to think here, is there any other ministry or department which would be doing this? And usually there would always be one such ministry. So ministries are usually given wrong, ministries or any kind of organization. Similarly, they will give you some kind of report or index and they will say ki this index or report is done by this organization. So this organization changing the name of this organization is very easy. So let's see an example. The National Investment and Infrastructure Fund (NIIF). If you might know, this is a fund. এটা proceeds এই fund को কোठୁ আসে জানা আছে anyway चलो ये सब जिनसे हमें knowledge base रे भी जीवा नहीं let's just see the question. So they are asking you with reference to this fund, which of the following statements is or are correct? First is it is an organ of Niti Aayog. Second is it has a corpus of 4 lakh crore at the present. Now you tell me which tricks are we going to use here? Shivam?
Sir, both the questions are, I mean, sorry, both the statements, ମାନେ ନୀତି ଆୟୋଗ ବି sir easily change କରିହେବା ଆଉ 4 lakh crore is also a statement which can also be changed easily. ତ
Very
ଦୁହିଟା
good.
red flag ଲାଗୁଛି.
ଦୁଇଟା ଯାକ red flag ଲାଗୁଛି so answer ଲାଗୁଛି neither one nor two. Actually think about it. Niti Aayog, why should Niti Aayog have this fund? Second point is why should this fund be as large as 4 lakh crore? है ना? Figures, random figures, we know कि random figures may be easy to change. Okay. So we have to, our trick is regarding this first statement. It is an organ of Niti Aayog. It could be an organ of, let's say it could be a body under the DPIIT. So that is the first. Now, consider this question. I think this was asked in 2020. Yes, COVID year question ta pachara. UN Capital Development Fund and Arbor Day Foundation have recently recognized Hyderabad as the 2020 Tree City of the World. Okay. And statement 2 is saying ki Arbor Day Foundation. Statement 2 is saying ki Hyderabad was selected for recognition for a year following its commitment to grow and maintain forest mountains. Sorry, urban forests. So, which of the following are correct? They are saying ki this is now the assertion and reasoning kind of question. Okay. Earlier, these kind of questions, assertion and reasoning, we used to see in CSAT paper. Nowadays, we are also seeing in GS1 paper also. Okay. So you have to be very, very careful. Now, the options are that both statement 1 and 2 are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. Both are correct, but statement 2 is not the correct explanation. So this is the assertion. This is the explanation. Then third option is that statement 1 is correct, but 2 is not correct. And assertion is correct, but explanation is not correct. Fourth option is that assertion is not correct, but explanation is correct. So you tell me what which tricks should we use here?
Sir, মানে first statement যেটা ଅଛି there are too many moving parts ମାନେ ତିନିଟା ଜିନିଷ ଅଛି ଯେନ୍ଟା ଯେନ୍ଥିରୁ ଯେନ୍ଟା ଗୋଟେ ବି ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରିଦେଲେ
Hmm.
statement ଟା ଭୁଲ ହେଇଯିବ
Very good.
ତ
Very good.
ସେଟା ରେଡ ଫ୍ଲାଗ ତ ସେଟା
Very
ଯଦି
good.
ରେଡ ଫ୍ଲାଗ ହେଇଯାଉଛି by default answer D ହେଇଯିବା
Very good. Now we don't have to think about anything. Statement 1 is incorrect itself. Okay. So it is, you can say this is relatively easier question, but let me tell you ki, see, this is the thing with tricks and skills. If you know about tricks and skills, you don't need to depend on knowledge. In any case, even if that year this question was in current affairs, okay, still it was difficult for many students because when you go on the basis of knowledge basis रे तमे solve करियो try करियो तो मन पकड़ कि यार मु current affairs रे पढ़थिली ना नहीं UNCDF थिला ना नहीं Arbor Day Foundation थिला नहीं very interesting, you know, this part is correct, Arbor Day Foundation is correct, but UN Capital Development Fund, I think this part is only not correct. Arbor Day Foundation is correct. Okay. So Arbor Day Foundation with some other organization, international organization, they had actually done this. Hyderabad ro Haritha Haram ଗୋଟେ project ହେଇଥିଲା ତ ଇଏ ତ ସବୁ these are all knowledge based. But suppose you had not read this in current affairs ଏଟା ପଢି ହିଁ ନଥାନ୍ତ ତାହେଲେ କଣ ତମେ ମାନେ panic କରିକି ଏଟା ଛାଡି ଦେଇଥାନ୍ତ. So this is the thing with tricks and skills. Ki even when you don't have knowledge or even if you have very less knowledge, still you are able to attempt and get it correct also. Okay. See, newspaper of the body now, then also you can attempt this. In any case, what else we can see? Ki Hyderabad was selected for recognition of a year. This is a very generic statement. Okay, grow and maintain urban forest. So it's tree city of the world. So this is a generic statement. Therefore, it is green flag. But then we don't even need to go to this statement. First statement itself is a red flag. So I'm saying this why? Because if it was a question like this, key one only, two only, you know, so or both correct, neither correct, then we would have clicked on two only, which is this is the trick.
yes sir.
Organization is easy to change. Now try to brainstorm about this. This is not a previous year question, but I thought let's ask you this thing. Organization plus wordplay. Question is Global Terrorism Index is published by which of the following organization? Institute for Economics and Peace, Amnesty International, Reporters Without Borders, or RSF, and Oxfam International. ଗୋଟେ ମିନିଟ୍ ଭାବିବି କୁହ କଣ ହେଇପାରିବ
Sir, option A.
आंसर ए why
Uh, sir, କାରଣ ଯୋଉ ରିପୋର୍ଟର୍ସ ୱିଦାଉଟ୍ ବର୍ଡର୍ସ ଅଛି ତ ସେଇଟା ନର୍ମାଲି ମାନେ ଜର୍ଣ୍ଣାଲିଜିମ୍ ଉପରେ ମେନଲି ଫୋକସ୍ କରେ ମାନେ ଫ୍ରିଡମ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଜର୍ଣ୍ଣାଲିଜିମ୍ ସେଇ ଟାଇପ୍ର ତାପରେ
very
ଅକ୍ସଫାମ
good
ଇଣ୍ଟରନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ବି ଆମେ ଏମିତି ଜାଣିଛୁ କି ବହୁତ ସାରା ଇନଇକ୍ୱାଲିଟି ରିପୋର୍ଟ ମାନେ ଇଏ କରେ କେତେ ଇନଇକ୍ୱାଲିଟି ୱେଲ୍ଥ ଇନଇକ୍ୱାଲିଟି ତା ଉପରେ ଡିଲ୍ କରେ
hmm.
ଆଉ Amnesty International ମୋର ମାନେ ମୁଁ ପଢିଛି ମୋର ଏକ୍ଜାକ୍ଟଲି ମନେ ପଡୁନି ବଟ୍ ତାର ଟେରରିଜିମ୍ ମାନେ ସେ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ବାହାର କରେନି ଦେନ୍ ଯୋଉଟା ଅପସନ୍ ଏ ଅଛି ଇକୋନୋମିକ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ ପିସ୍ ବୋଲି ତ ଟେରରିଜିମ୍ ଆମେ ମାନେ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସିଆଲ ଟେରରିଜିମ୍ ମାନେ ଅଛି ମାନେ ତାର ଗୋଟେ ଆସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ ଅଛି କି ମନି ଲଣ୍ଡରିଂ ଏଇ ଟାଇପର ବି ମେ ବି କିଛି ଲିଙ୍କ ଥାଇପାରେ ତ ଆଉ ପିସ୍ କୁ ବି ତ ସେ ହାଫ୍ ତ ମୁଁ ଅପସନ୍ ଏ
Very good. Excellent. Shivam, right? Okay, coach.
ନା ସେ ନିମାଉଛି
Himanshu. Okay, very good. See, this is exactly the logic. Sometimes what will happen is that if you go through this, we had discussed one wordplay, etymology and what it discussed totally, origin of words. So sometimes there would not be a direct reference to this same word, but it might be some kind of indirect reference. Now see, question is on terrorism. So terrorism, the opposite of terrorism would be what? World peace. So peace, this is the word here. Even if it is opposite to this is the closest link that you can find among the other options. So similarly, amnesty, you are absolutely right. Amnesty usually brings out reports, indices on human rights. Its main focus is on human rights. RSF or Reporter Without Borders. So he has little focus on journalism as well as human rights. These things. Oxfam focuses on poverty, growth, and development. So who the rest one is Institute for Economics and Peace. Now, this is, there is another trick. The IEP, if you think about this, among these four, actually these three are better known or well known organizations. This is the least known organization, relatively at least, right? So you can also use this as a odd one out. You can use this as a odd one out trick also. But I'll confirm that I think that this trick is better here, okay? Because this is now meaning based. This is now meaning based trick, okay? So ଆମେ କଣ କରିବୁ ନା organization usually we think कि it is wrong. If organization, which kind of organization is bringing out this report or this data, this fact, whatever it is, if that is asked, then you go through the options and try to use wordplay. ବୁଝିହେଉଛି ଯାହା discuss କରୁଛୁ କିଛି ତ difficult ନାହିଁ, right? ବୁଝିହେଉଛି ସବୁ anyone ବୁଝିହେଉଛି ନା କିଛି difficult ଲାଗିଲା କି previous hello
No,
hello am I
no
audible?
sir, ବୁଝିଲି
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Audible.
okay, ठीक. So the next trick is double bluffing. Now double bluffing again, these are all counterintuitive tricks. Okay, counterintuitive means intuition against the giver. That is why you have to be very careful because these are higher level tricks. Now double bluffing মানে কোন মানে কেবে তাস কার্ড খেলছ তাস
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
କାର୍ଡ ରେ ବି ଗୋଟେ bluff or bluffing ଗୋଟେ game ଅଛି. Have you played that game?
Yes, sir.
So the game is that, so every player would have a set of cards. Okay, now they will call key. Now this person will act as if he has some good cards or bad cards, whatever it is, he will act the opposite. Okay, and it is up to the other players to call the bluff. Call the bluff means if the person is showing as if are mo pakhre to kichi bhalo cards nahi, then probably he has a lot of good cards. Okay, then he will play it and he will beat the others. So the others would, from his or her attitude, these person, they are supposed to call the bluff. They will say कि no, ତମେ ଯଦି ଦେଖଉଛ କି ଯେ ତମ ପାଖରେ କିଛି ଭଲ କାର୍ଡ ନାହିଁ, then actually ତମ ପାଖରେ ଭଲ କାର୍ଡ ଅଛି। ଆଉ ଯଦି ତମେ ଦେଖଉଛ କି ବହୁତ କନଫିଡେଣ୍ଟଲି ଓଭର କନଫିଡେଣ୍ଟ ଶୋ କରୁଛ, then it is probably that ତମ ପାଖରେ ଭଲ କାର୍ଡ actually ନାହିଁ। Okay, so that this is double bluffing, means one is bluffing. So who is bluffing here? UPSC is bluffing, and you are the aspirants candidates. You are supposed to double bluff, in the sense you have to call the bluff. So that means whatever they are saying, you have to think of the opposite thing. So ତା ମାନେ କ'ଣ? ତା ମାନେ ହେଉଛି ଯଦି statement ଟା ବହୁତ ହି obvious ଅଛି, then it is likely to be false. Okay, if the statement is too non-obvious or too unexpected, then it is likely to be true. Okay? That means ଯାହା ଆମକୁ ଲାଗୁଛି ତାର opposite usually ହେଇଥିବ। So let's think about these things. Previous summer କିଛି examples already ଆମେ କରିସାରିଛୁ, ଯେମିତି ଆମେ discuss କରିଥିଲୁ same thing we can think in terms of this example also. Gandhi in Lord Chelmsford's war conference ଆମେ discuss କରିଥିଲୁ कि गांधी को usually ଆମେ गांधी को ଆମେ କାହା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ associate करू, non violence ସାଙ୍ଗରେ associate करू. So on the surface level it seems as if Gandhi would not support this kind of resolution. Indians want to recruit करा जाओ बोले वो second world war for the Britishers, but actually he had support, right? So this is calling the bluff. Similarly, Lord Cornwallis held the post of Governor General of India twice. So twice this thing seems counterintuitive, but you have to call the bluff. That means UPSC expects that in this statement you will mark this as wrong, but actually this statement is right. So whatever they are giving, I'm not saying you should do it blindly. It depends on question to question. But this is the trick that sometimes you have to go counterintuitive. Now let's discuss what kind of question, in which kind of question you have to use these kind of tricks. Now think about this. A question of the thought. In the cities of our country, which among the following atmospheric gases are normally considered in calculating the value of air quality index, AQI? Your options are carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and methane. Now these are the options. Think and tell me which option would be correct. CO2, CO, nitrogen dioxide is what? NO2, right? Sulfur dioxide, methane.
Sir, option B.
Option B. Why?
Sir, এটা মানে কিছু knowledge based question মানে carbon dioxide I think normally near there. So if I eliminate one, so
Okay, but why? Thank you, Niajan. Why do you think? Carbon dioxide is a very important gas which contributes a lot to the climate change, right?
yes, sir.
So why should it not be taken into account? See, actually, around 60 to 70% people would automatically assume that carbon dioxide would be one of the answers. And this is the trap here. How UPSC plays our biases against us. Because see, carbon dioxide, we know that it contributes a lot to global warming. So therefore, we also automatically assume it would also contribute to air pollution. So try to understand air quality index. This is related to air pollution. This is not related to global warming or climate change. Air pollution, here what is more important, which kind of gases which are more abundant in the atmosphere. But global warming, it does not depend that much on abundance. What it depends on is global warming potential, GWP. Means even if there are many gases whose quantity in the atmosphere is less, still they can contribute a lot to the global warming or warming of the atmosphere. For example, many hydrofluorocarbon, chlorofluorocarbons, है ना? HFC, CSC, HFC, CFCs. But are they counted under AQI? In AQI, we are taking only those gases which are more abundant. So is carbon dioxide more abundant? It is a potent gas for global warming, but it is not very abundant. In fact, it is very, very less, 0 point something, right? So therefore, if you eliminate one, then you automatically get the correct option. I mean, the one eliminate for you, then immediately will get the answer 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and 4. See, you don't even need to know whether carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, methane, these are in the air or not. In any case, methane is very, very voluminous in the atmosphere. Very significant amount is there because agriculture, cattle, ये सब जिनिस को जाऊँ. But ठीक है, ये सब जिनिस को जाने दरकार नहीं. If only you can use the logic that carbon dioxide is not that much abundant, then you can get the answer. But why did UPSC knowingly give you this option, carbon dioxide? because they know कि many people would assume without thinking in depth that carbon dioxide would be one of the gases, right? So this is where you have to call the bluff. Similarly, think of this. Consider this question. Swayam, an initiative of Government of India, aims at what? First is promoting self-help groups in rural areas, SHGs. Second is providing financial and technical assistance to young startups, entrepreneurs. Third is promoting education and health of adults and girls. Fourth is providing affordable and quality education to citizens for free. What do you think is the answer?
Sir,
Sir,
intuitive तो लागू है
sorry.
कि it would be either promoting the self-help groups or providing financial and technical assistance to young startup entrepreneurs. ये दुईटा भी तो बेसी
Very good.
intuitive लागू है.
Very good. Counterintuitive कौन लगी?
Sir,
सर
counter intuitive
सर
लागू है.
हेलो सर
Yes, yes, Chakravarti.
हाँ सर ए और बी है वो ए एंड बी
A and B. That is
हाँ
either A or B. So you are saying either A or B. B डाल करके सेटा हो.
सर बोथ हो बने ना
Both option ही नहीं है
Sir,
कि तो A B C D.
D D feel हो चाहिए
Hmm.
sir, providing
Thank.
affordable and quality education to the citizens for free.
सर वन हो
Okay.
चले
One name. See, this is the trap that
सर
you are
बी
giving. That
सर बी सर कन्फर्म बी
no, answer is actually D. Swayam is MOOCs, massive online open courses. Okay. So Swayam is MOOCs, but my point is that see, sometimes we have discussed this trick wordplay or etymology. So according to wordplay or etymology, you will see ki Swayam. Swayam means what? Ki something which is there is a direct deliberate reference. Swayam could means a self-help or also could mean startup. Swayam mane kon? I'm a self-dependent or something like that, right? But short form ସବୁବେଳେ ମାନେ ନାହିଁ ଗୋଟେ short form ଟା ସେଇ same ଜିନିଷ ଉପରେ ହେଇଥିବ ଯାହାର ମାନେ ଯାହାର example ଆମେ ମାନେ sorry ଯାହାର ଯୋଉ topic ଟା ଉପରେ ସେ ଜିନିଷଟା ହେଇଛି. Okay, it's not always necessary. Okay, I'll give you some examples. But what is my point? My point is कि many a times wordplay or etymology will not work perfectly. So you have to think sometimes कि intuitively कौन ହେଇପାରେ, counter intuitively कौन ହେଇପାରେ. ଯଦି intuitively ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷଟା very very obvious ତମକୁ ଦିଆହେଇଛି and usually these options you will also see कि these options will be given you on top A or B रे दिया very very obvious कि तुम्हें आओ C और D आड़ू को जाओ भी नहीं immediately A B देखिए कोटा कोटा select कर दिया then you should pause, take a pause and think can it be some counterintuitive answer also. Okay. So here देखो ସେମାନେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ସ୍ୱୟଂ ମାନେ କିଛି ପିଲା ଏଠି ସେଇ ଟ୍ରିକ୍ କରିବେ ତୁକ୍କାବାଜି କରିବେ ତ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଲାଗେ ସ୍ୱୟଂ ମାନେ ସେଲ୍ଫ ଡିପେଣ୍ଡେଣ୍ଟ ଅର ସେଲ୍ଫ ରିଲାଏନ୍ସ ଉପରେ ହିଁ A and B ରେ ହିଁ ସେମାନେ ଦେଇ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ଅପସନ ସେଲ୍ଫ ହେଲ୍ପ ଗ୍ରୁପ୍ସ ଆଉ ୟଙ୍ଗ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟଅପ୍ସ but actually it is related to education. So even in education they have given two options and the correct answer is given at the end D. Okay, so this is a counterintuitive way of going about things. So ସବୁବେଳେ ମାନେ ନାହିଁ କି etymology ଦେଖିଲା ମାନେ ମାନେ word play ଦେଖିକି ଆଖି ବୁଜିକି ଆମେ କରିବା. Just take a pause and think कि could some other option be correct going against our surface level of reasoning. Now I have given some other examples where surface level reasoning will not work. Okay, immediate wordplay work करियो नहीं. So think about this gravity rat. Suppose the question is कि this is taken from current affairs. Gravity rat is what? First is की remote controlled computer system. Second is की pest control system of ICAR. Okay. Third is की NASA experiment to detect anomalies in the Earth's gravitational field. And fourth is an endangered mammal species. What do you think is the answer? किसी जानिया दरकार नहीं, just guess.
सर सी आई थिंक सी
A sir, most
Okay,
counterintuitive intervention.
very good. Who else? How come also? अच्छा मते गोटे कथा को कहार एबे लोभ होची कि बी और डी को मारिया ପାଇଁ पेस्ट कंट्रोल सिस्टम ऑफ आइका एंड एंडेंजर्ड मैमल स्पीसीज ସେମାନେ ଜାଣି ଜାଣି ଏ ଭଳିଆ क्वेश्चन सेट करे बिकॉज रैट अछि so they will think कि many people would think this is something related to biology or zoology but very obviously think gravity rat first of all gravity काहे कि लागियो rat सेकंड ऑफ ऑल रैट टा कहीं माने कैपिटल रे रहइबो बुझ किछि गोटे नॉर्मल गोटे एनिमल स्पीसीज रो नाम हेले एमितिया लेखा हो कैट रैट एमितिया लेखा हो एमितिया कैपिटल ले कहीं आरएटी लेखा सो दिस मींस कि दिस इज शॉर्ट फॉर्म राइट सो गोटे स्पीसीज रो ना तो ऑब्वियसली शॉर्ट फॉर्म रे होबनी तो हमें आखि बुझी के एटा काटि दे पेस्ट कंट्रोल सिस्टम will be ICA. This also looks like a very direct reference, direct deliberate reference, which is supposed to track you. So obviously answer would be one of A or C. Now here comes some kind of intuitive logic, sorry, counterintuitive logic that you have to put. C they have given, sorry, answer it up. Mass accident, gravitational field. This is RAT stands for remote access Trojan. I think answer would be A. बट एनी केस देखो मु मना करनी कि ए और सी भितर भी आंसर बाहर करियाटा डिफिकल्ट बट एटलीस्ट यू कैन एलिमिनेट टू ऑफ दीस ऑप्शंस व्हिच विल नेवर बी करेक्ट दिस इज एन एग्जांपल ऑफ what should be the what can be the counterintuitive way of looking at word play kind of questions. Okay. बता नहीं देखो how would example हमें लूंगा an interim mechanism called peace clause is available to developing countries. It is linked to each of the following organizations: Veterans for Peace, WTO, UNFCCC, International Solar Alliance. कौन आंसर हो? बहुत इजी.
International Solar Alliance.
WTO.
Okay, WTO. Who else? See, एटा ट्रैप हो जिगी डायरेक्ट डेलिबरेट रेफरेंस फर्स्ट ऑप्शन रे दिया है वेटरन्स फॉर पीस. तो आई थिंक कि मैं बहुत बेसी नो मैं हार्डली 20% 10 to 20% people who have not studied anything or they even do not know how to use tricks, they will see कि okay peace clause peace, they will mark this one. So see, are you able to see even option में भी केमतिया दिया होछि जोटा डायरेक्ट डेलिबरेट रेफरेंस थियो ना सेउडा कि यूजुअली ए एंड बी रे दिया छै यूजुअली सी एंड डी रे दिया जिवो ना बिकॉज़ यूपीएससी एक्सपेक्ट्स कि जदी गोटे नॉन सीरियस एस्पिरेंट अछि सी कोन ए बी पढी आ सी आ डी वाले को जिवो ही नहीं ସେଇଠି ଗୋଟେ ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟ ରେଫରେନ୍ସ ଅଛି he will mark this one is correct. So first ଆଖି ବୁଝି କି ଆକୁ ତ କାଟିବାର ଅଛି veterans for peace କେବେ ବି ହବ ନାହିଁ. ସେକେଣ୍ଡ କଥା international solar alliance ଏବେ peace clause ଗୋଟେ କୋଉ ଜିନିଷରେ ଆସିବ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ନେଗୋସିଏସନ ଯୋଉଥିରେ ହଉଥିବ ସେଥିରେ କ୍ଲଜ ଆସିବ ରାଇଟ ଯେମିତି ଭାବ ଆମର କ୍ଲଜ କୋଉଥିରେ ଏମିତି ଲଜ ରେ ଅଛି ମାନେ ଆର୍ଟିକଲ ରେ ଅଛି କ୍ଲଜ ତ ସେଇଭଳିଆ ଗୋଟେ ଇଣ୍ଟରନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ କୋଉଠୁ ତାଙ୍କର ଥୋଡି ନା କନଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁସନ ଅଛି ଇଣ୍ଟରନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ ରେ କ୍ଲଜ କେତେବେଳେ ଆସିବ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ନେଗୋସିଏସନ ହଉଥିବ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ ଆଉ ନେଗୋସିଏସନ କୋଉଥିରେ ହୁଏ ଇଣ୍ଟରନ୍ୟାସନାଲ सोलर अलायंस कोते हुआनी WTO रे हबो नहले UNFCCC रे हबो UNFCCC रे नेगोसिएशन यूजुअली को जिंस नहीं हबो क्लाइमेट चेंज रिलेटेड हबो सेथरे पीस क्लॉज कहीं की आसीबो WTO रे एग्रीकल्चर रिलेटेड थिंग बहुत सारे जिंस ट्रेड रिलेटेड थिंग बहुत सारे जिंस रे पीस क्लॉज दरकार होई परियो बिकॉज़ some countries would demand some kind of relaxations for them and the other countries would grant them peace clause. Okay. So this is the logic. With this logic, you can go with WTO. In general, all the peace clause this is very well known. WTO negotiation में बहुत well known ଅଛି peace clause. जोटा हमरो I think बाली राउंड रे हितला. Okay, इंडिया क्लेम करथला कि हमको हायर रिलैक्सेशन दरकार कि जो फार्मर्स मान को सब्सिडीज दिया होची गवर्नमेंट दोची so we need and our food security ପାଇଁ we needed a peace clause. Okay. But my point was that veterans for peace first option do not go blindly with only with wordplay. Okay. Another question, try to guess. See, all of these questions we know nothing about. Okay, let's say कि knowledge basis रे हमें किसी भी करना. We are trying to understand. Even if we did not know anything about basic knowledge रे बस. जदि हमें current affairs रे जिनस ये questions पढ़ी भी ना हो, ताहले भी केमतिया ताकू solve करी. Okay. So go through this question now. Trishna mission is what? First option is Earth observation satellite based on thermal imaging developed by ISRO. Second is it is a deep sea mission to mine polymetallic nodules. C is that underground water restoration project of Jal Shakti Ministry. And D is skill development program for the youth of aspirational districts. Now think what could be the intuitive answer, what should be the counterintuitive answer.
Sir, I think C.
C. C is what kind of C? You are falling in the trap. C is the intuitive answer. है ना? Intuitive answer काहे की? Because Trishna होची कौन? So. So Trishna is thirst. So that is something related to water. Again, 20 to 30% people will mark this as correct. They will not go deeply into anything.
Sir, option D also.
Okay, we will see what should be the option. Why do you think it should be D?
Sir, କାରଣ ମାନେ ଏଟା odd one out ହେଇଯାଉଛି because A B C ଆପଣ ଦେଖିବେ scientific ଆଉ research ମାନେ ସେଇ related ହଉଛି ଆଉ ଏଇଟା education ରେ ଆସୁଛି ତ ଏଇଟା
ହେଇପାରେ
Sir, B.
see, we will B. Okay, why do you think it is B? Now think about this. Let's discuss in detail. ଟିକେ detail ଏଇ question ଟାକୁ discuss କରିବୁ. Okay, because ଗୋଟେ ଦୁଇଟା question definitely ଏମିତି ଆସିବ which would be short form of something. Now think about this angle. Trishna mission ଏଇ ସବୁଗୁଡା capital ଅଛି. ଯଦି ଏମିତି ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା ତ ଅଲଗା କଥା. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏଇଭଳିଆ ମିଶନ ହେଇଥିଲେ ନା rather it should be related to water ଆମେ ଭାବି ପାରିଥାନ୍ତୁ. But see, this is something in capital, short form ରେ ଅଛି. So that means କି ୟାର ଗୋଟେ expanded version ଥିବ. Okay, let's say କି T ରେ ଗୋଟେ word ଥିବ something for the renovation of Indian something S ରେ ଆଉ ଭଳିଆ ଏଇଭଳିଆ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ହେଇପାରେ. ଆମେ first ସେଇଟା ଭାବିବା କି ନାହିଁ. ନା ଏବେ ଭାବ କି ୟାକୁ expand କଲେ ୟା ଭିତରେ କୋଉ ଗୁଡାକୁ match ହଉଛି. देखो अर्थ ऑब्जर्वेशन सैटेलाइट एस रे सैटेलाइट अछि बेस्ड ऑन थर्मल इमेजिंग एटा टी रे ही पारे थर्मल इमेजिंग समथिंग ही पारे ओके आई रे भी माने ए जो यार आई भी ही पारे इमेजिंग ओके सो दिस इज लाइकली दिस कैन कुड बी वन ऑफ द ऑप्शंस डीप सी मिशन टू माइन पॉलीमेटालिक नोड्यूल डी एस ओके चलो ओनली एस ही गोटे अछि बट एम पी एम एन या होते तो किछि भी नहीं अंडरग्राउंड वाटर रिस्टोरेशन प्रोजेक्ट सी डब्ल्यू टोटली एथरे डब्ल्यू ही ना ओके स्किल डेवलपमेंट चलो एस अच्छी फॉर द यूथ इन एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाई ए डी किछ नहीं बट स्टिल यू कैन डाउट ओके मे बी ही पारे नाउ एटलीस्ट यू आर स्टिल एबल टू एलिमिनेट टू ऑप्शंस बी और सी तो हमें काटिंग दो बिकॉज़ आमे जानछु कि मिशन टा यदि ଗୋଟେ शॉर्ट फॉर्म रे अछि या को एक्सपैंड करले से मिशन रिलेटेड किछ ଗୋଟେ नाम तो थिबो तो बी और सी तो केबे हेई ही परिबो नहीं बिकॉज़ डब्ल्यू नहीं डी नहीं एम नहीं एस नहीं एस गोटे ही जिंस अच्छी बट एटा लागुनी सी the deep sea mission to mine polymetallic nodule यार मेन वर्ड गुडा ई सब वर्ड गुडा रहते यार डी एस एम पी एम एन किछि तो नहीं बुझी होची कि नहीं एंड मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंटली मोस्ट पीपल हु फॉल फॉर दिस इज की इंटुइटिव कि तृष्णा एटा को ଗୋଟେ नॉर्मल वर्ड बोली भाबी तो तृष्णा माने समथिंग रिलेटेड टू वाटर बट व्हाट इज द एक्चुअली द आंसर it is actually the answer actually is something this part satellite thermal T imaging I T I S okay so this is earth observation satellite based on thermal imaging developed by ISRO देखो मु एथरा मना करनी एबे भी ए और डी भितरे भी टिके कंफ्यूजन रहबो लास्ट मिनिट रे तुमको लागियो मे बी स्किल डेवलपमेंट ही पारे बिकॉज़ यूजुअली earth observation satellite based on thermal imaging developed by ISRO रो सैटेलाइट गुडा यूजुअली एगुडा नाम दिया जाय ना है ना इसरो रो सैटेलाइट सब नाम दिया हुआ है GSAT-7 some sats लगी थी राइट so if by that logic also you are eliminating ठीक है और आंसर भूल ही जाओ but at least I'll be happy कि you have gone to that level हमको नेट पॉजिटिव मार्क्स सबले दरकार है मन तो सब आंसर हमर करेक्ट होबो नहीं but we have to get net positive for that we have to attempt maximum number of questions but my purpose here was to show you that not always there would be direct deliberate references would be correct sometimes you have to go to counterintuitive reason बुझी होची अपन
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
okay now a trick था ना this is very important and I'm actually personally very proud of this trick you know why many of these tricks some of these tricks some people I have seen that some of my friends they were also able to डेवलप ऑन देयर ओन मतलब ସେମାନେ ବି ଜାଣି ଯାଇଥିଲେ ବହୁତ ଟାଇମ ରେ ଯୋଉମାନେ ବାର ବାର ପ୍ରି କ୍ଲିୟର କରୁଥାନ୍ତି ଆମର ଗୋଟେ ଗ୍ରୁପ ଅଫ ପିପଲ ଆମ ଥିଲୁ ବଟ ଏ ଟ୍ରିକ୍ ଟା କେହି ପିଲା ଭାବି ହିଁ ନଥିଲେ at some point when I told them and they were very happy ki okay chalo, this is sort of counterintuitive trick that's so easy, but we often ignore. Now why I'm saying this is very very important, now think about this angle ki many a times UPSC will give you a statement, से statement रे ही जहाँ ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ part ଥିବ which would be the claim, and ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ part ସେଇ same statement ରେ ଥିବ which would be the explanation or reasoning. Now think about it, if this statement is correct, if it is correct, okay, why are they giving you this explanation? They could only simply give you the claim, and that would make your task more difficult, right? They will only say कि claim जहाँ भी अच्छी कि जहाँ भी statement दबार अच्छी simply सेटा दे दे, explanation टा यदि न दे थाते ताले हमको से statement टाको solve करें difficult होता है. So why are they making our tasks easier? Prelims, see, prelims is not a stage where UPSC wants to select you. Prelims is the stage where UPSC wants to reject maximum number of people. Now in mains and interview they want to select you, but at the first stage they want to reject maximum number of people. So why would they make your task easier? They will try to make, they will use every trick in their book to make your task difficult. So this is where we do double bluffing. We will call their bluff. Means जो statement रे claim संगरे explanation थी वो हमें भावियो कि that is a red flag RF. Okay. Now from this angle, consider this question with respect to colonial era agricultural sector of India. First statement they are saying कि realizing that agriculture was their major source of revenue, Britishers prioritized irrigation and PWD works. Second statement is British economic policy led to subdivision and fragmentation of land in India. Now you tell me which statements is or are correct here.
सर फर्स्ट माने एंता लागुचे कि फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट रो फर्स्ट पार्ट राइट माने ग्रीन फ्लैग लागुचे बट सेकंड पार्ट रेड फ्लैग लागुचे बिकॉज़ दे आर अननेसेसरली माने एक्सप्लेन करूछन कि ब्रिटिश
Very good.
प्रायोरिटाइज्ड irrigation and PWD works. And
Very
second,
good.
sir, we can say green flag because it did
Yes.
lead to sub.
And this is a very generic statement. British economic policy. देखो यदि तुमको एटा भी सेकंड स्टेटमेंट भी जणानी कि ठीक कि नहीं, जस्ट थिंक लॉजिकली. Subdivision and fragmentation of land in India ହେଇଛି कि नहीं ହେଇଛି. And is it a good thing or a bad thing? Obviously it is a bad thing. Fragmentation ହେଇଗଲେ land consolidation ହେଇପାରିବ ନାହିଁ, land ର productivity କମିଯିବ. Consolidation ହେଇପାରିବ ନୁହଁ, ମାନେ consolidation ଆମକୁ କରିକି ହିଁ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ, ମାନେ this is a bad thing. So British economic policy India ରେ ଗୋଟେ bad ଜିନିଷ create କରିଛି, ତ obviously ଏଟା ହେଇଥିବ, right? This is a generic statement, so this is a green flag. But see the first statement. First they are saying ki if UPSC wanted, they could just have given this part only. Britishers prioritized irrigation and PWD works. Why are they also explaining to you ki realizing that agriculture was their major source of revenue, they did this? So they are basically UPSC is saying ki look, this is also, isn't this justified? So means we are justifying ki here is the explanation, you try to understand this is why it happened. So that means it is a red flag. If they are unnecessarily trying to convince you, that means it is wrong. So the answer would be 2 only. Are you able
Sir,
to
as in
understand or not?
like superfluous words also they have used
Yes,
in
very
the
good. You
first
can
one.
also call it a superfluous phrase. Superfluous phrase means it does not add value to the statement. If they had simply deleted this part, then also this statement would have stood on its own if it was correct. See, যদি এই পার্টটা correct থাকতা, Britishers prioritized irrigation in India, then they would have simply given that part only. Why are they giving you superfluous words? This is similar to that. Remember Barren Island volcano?
Yes,
ଗୋଟେ
sir.
statement ରେ କୁହାଯାଇଥିଲା କି it is active. Second statement ରେ କୁହାଯାଇଥିଲା କି it has not erupted since 1991 and has since remained inactive, right? So that part was completely superfluous. That means that statement was wrong. Now look at this question. Which of the following statements is or are correct? I would have straight question throw and discuss for you. So first statement is given, polar air mass movements can form cumulus clouds. Second statement is maritime air masses are dry, hence do not cause any rainfall. What do you think? Which statements is or are correct or wrong?
Sir, second red flag laguche sir.
Very
One
good.
second statement. First
Hmm.
is a generic statement feels right, sir. Can form. So it is
Okay.
possibility
Very
of
good.
one only if you go.
Very good. So see this in the first statement. If you go by knowledge basis रे गले किसी पिला एथरे ट्रैप रे पड़ी जिवे because they will think कि polar air mass means polar air mass is cold. Cumulus cloud, we know that it is a long developing cloud which is caused by convectional currents. So this air mass should not be very cold. It should, they will think it should be an warm air mass because it would bring moisture and everything. इच्छी एत डिटेल जीवा दरकार नहीं. Just go through the logic. Can form. Okay. Polar air mass can form. Okay, maybe they can form other kind of clouds, cirrus clouds and everything, whatever it is. But sometimes they could also form cumulus clouds. Okay. So if you go through trick, then you will say this is correct. Again, second statement you will going through trick. Key maritime air masses are dry, hence do not cause any rainfall. See this part they are explaining, unnecessarily explaining. They are trying to see this is the, isn't this justified? Isn't this logical? This is the explanation already given. That means unnecessarily superfluous part, unnecessarily trying to impress you. Therefore, it means second statement is wrong. Answer would be one only. Okay. This is the trick. I'm telling you, this is very, very important trick because at least, I'm not kidding you, at least around 5 to 10 questions you can solve through this to see the impact. Many of these tricks that we have discussed, hardly 1-2 questions will come. Okay. Overall, out of 70 questions, 5 to 10 tricks, 5 to 10 questions you can solve using this trick only. Okay. To go through the previous year questions, then you will be able to understand how important this trick is. So जदि से ए previous trick टा बुझी पारलो, then आमे next trick टा something similar. Okay, bit similar, not exactly the same, but bit similar. So you will be able to understand now कि 14th number our trick is undue emphasis. Undue emphasis means trying too hard to convince us. Okay, so it is similar to previous isn't this justified and superfluous words. एथरे कौन superfluous न हेले भी they will emphasize something. Okay, this is the important one. This could be a single word, this could be a phrase, this could be a one part of the statement also. Let's try to understand what this means. Now it about the 2019 2022 रो question. Now a question का पढ़ो deputy speaker of Lok Sabha. First statement को है कि as per the rules of procedure and conduct of business in Lok Sabha, election of deputy speaker shall be held on such date as the speaker may fix. Second statement, there is a mandatory provision that the election of a candidate as deputy speaker shall be from either the principal opposition party or the ruling party. Third statement is deputy speaker has the same power as that of speaker when presiding over the house, and no appeal lies against his ruling. Fourth is the well-established parliamentary practice regarding appointment of a deputy speaker is that the motion is moved by the speaker and seconded by the prime minister. Now, before trying to understand every statement, first see the options. How are the options given? Options are 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 4. That means most likely it could be that either one is wrong or most likely at least two of the statements could be wrong. So now think very carefully. What a minute new have we called on answer out.
Sir, option 2 और 4 wrong लाଗୁଛି.
2 or 4. Man, statement 2 or 4 wrong. No,
Yes, sir. Statement 2 and 4.
Okay, thank you.
तो फास्ट जो हमर अछि जो मैंडेटरी प्रोविजन तो सेटा रेड फ्लैग एंड
Very
देन
good.
Then fourth statement ରେ ଲେଖିଛି କି duly seconded by the Prime Minister, but Prime Minister not necessarily be from Lok Sabha. He or she can also be from Rajya Sabha. So ସେଇ Prime Minister
Okay,
ଯୋଗୁ ମୋ fourth statement को भी red flag.
very good. Actually, red flag is this part. Well established parliamentary practice. Now think how many parliamentary practices are actually well established. Okay. So this is undue emphasis. Similarly, duly seconded, superfluous. Duly is superfluous. They could simply have said ki it is he or she is seconded by the prime minister. So both of these, due to this, we will say ki this is red. So we will assume ki 4 is wrong and 2 is wrong. So what will be the answer? 1 and 3 only. Correct. That is actually the answer. Mandatory टा होची extreme word हिसाब रे भाभी की हम eliminate कर करिए. Well established procedure, undue emphasis. So we will eliminate that also. We got the answer 1 and 3 only. Which is undue emphasis. See, undue emphasis is not exactly the same as look, it is justified. Because see, here they are not giving you explanation or justification, but only there are certain words which are emphasized. So even these emphasis words should ring alarm bells in your mind. Okay. ବୁଝି ହଉଛି ଏପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଯାହା discuss କଲୁ? ବୁଝି ହଉଛି କି ନାହିଁ? Any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is again, this is one of the most important tricks, and it is actually an intuitive trick. This is not a counterintuitive trick. This is a very simple, very intuitive. Okay. In fact, I should have discussed this in trick 1. First phase re discuss further pila. Both pila yaku use kare. No doubt this is a very simple and very basic trick, but still it would work. Okay. 60 to 70% of the time this will work. So this is a very good trick for us. And out of 100 questions, my estimate is around 30 to 40 questions could have one or two such statements. Okay, at max 40, at least 20 such questions would be there. Red flag words and green flag words. Definitely there would be huge number of questions. Okay, 20 to 40, this is a huge range for us. Okay, ମାନେ ଏଇଟା କିଛି ଗୋଟେ କମ ନମ୍ବର ନୁହଁ, ଗୋଟେ ବଡ ନମ୍ବର. ବଟ୍ କଥା ହଉଛି ବହୁତ ସାରା କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ କଣ ହବ, ସବୁ ଷ୍ଟେଟମେଣ୍ଟରେ ନଥିବ, ଗୋଟେ ଦୁଇଟା ଷ୍ଟେଟମେଣ୍ଟରେ ଏଇଭଳିଆ ରେଡ୍ କି ଗ୍ରୀନ୍ ଫ୍ଲାଗ ଥିବ, ବଟ୍ still that is enough for you to eliminate that option. Okay. Or say ki okay, this option is correct. Now which are these words? Green flag words कौन? These are usually the generic words. Okay, these are positively worded words. Red flag words होता कौन? Very specific words. It can be very specific, and it is usually also, they can also be negatively worded, and they are also many extreme words. Okay, ये सब गुड़ा ही थी. Very specific, negative, and these would be generic, positively worded. And यारो कौन की यारो probability, high probability words. या माने कौन? Go through the list. Can be, may be, generally or usually, sometimes, some of, many of, most of. So if these words are used, then we will say it is likely to be true. That means this is green flag. On the other hand, if the words are must be, mandatory, always, never, all, none, any माने कौन? कि this rule applies to any such cases, means सब केस रे यूज ही करी. Any माने say this is an extreme word. Okay. So these words, if these words are there, it is likely to be wrong. Red flag. Now let's see some a little bit in depth. बेले बेले कौन हो रेड फ्लैग और ग्रीन फ्लैग वर्ड सिंगल गोटे स्टेटमेंट रे मल्टीपल वर्ड थाई पारे. तो गोटे गोटे वर्ड हेतु रेड फ्लैग, गोटे हेतु ग्रीन फ्लैग. तो से भलिया केस रे कौन करिया? देखो किछि यदि इलेक्ट्रिकल एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजीनियरिंग करिथियो ताले जानिथियो पॉजिटिव पॉजिटिव मिसले कौन हुए? पॉजिटिव हुए, राइट? सेमती या पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव सांगे मिसले कौन हुए? नेगेटिव हुए। नेगेटिव नेगेटिव सांगे मिसले कौन हुए? नेगेटिव हुए। सिमिलर लॉजिक यू हैव टू यूज। मींस जदी गोटे याको शॉर्टकट रे एमती भी कहि परियो, जदी मल्टीपल वर्ड्स अछि, सब वर्ड गुडा ग्रीन फ्लैग हबो जदी ताले सेटा ग्रीन फ्लैग हो। जदी गोटे सिंगल भी रेड फ्लैग अछि ताले सेटा रेड फ्लैग ही टोटल। ओके, सो फॉर एग्जांपल ग्रीन फ्लैग 1 GF1, गोटे ग्रीन फ्लैग अछि गोटे वर्ड, आ गोटे भी ग्रीन फ्लैग वर्ड अछि, ताले ऑब्वियसली इट्स एंटायरली ट्रू, पूरा स्टेटमेंट लाइकली टू बी ट्रू। गोटे भाबो पॉजिटिव वर्ड अछि बट आ गोटे रेड फ्लैग वर्ड अछि, ताले एंटायर का फॉल्स ही। जदी दुईटा को रेड फ्लैग अछि, ऑब्वियसली सबुडा नेगेटिव अछि माने स्टेटमेंट भी नेगेटिव हो। मींस गोटे फॉर एग्जांपल गोटे स्टेटमेंट रे मल्टीपल एक्सट्रीम वर्ड्स अछि, ताले तो ऑब्वियसली इट वुड आल्सो बी रॉन्ग। भाबो कि दुईटा जेनेरिक वर्ड अछि बट गोटे एक्सट्रीम वर्ड अछि, ई गोटे एक्सट्रीम वर्ड पे स्टेटमेंट पूरा भूली बुझियो। दिस इज द रूल ऑफ थंब। नाउ लेट्स डिस्कस दिस विथ एग्जांपल्स। देखो एते तुम फार्मूला फार्मूला दे केही भी बुझेबे, बिलीव मी, even if our attendance and class strength is very low, but the people who are going through this, you will notice very high quality tricks that we are discussing, and not many people are there who have realized these tricks. Kindly use these tricks in your mock test because they will give you very rich dividends. I can assure you, using these tricks, you can, by knowledge basis, hardly 25 to 30 questions you will be able to answer, and the rest around 70 questions, 65 to 70 questions, or 70 to 75 questions, these you definitely have to some kind of logic or trick, otherwise you will not be able to answer. So this is the difference between clearing the exam and not clearing the exam. Right? Now it is example through the bujha red flag, green flag. Now read this statement, these questions, and tell me what should be the answer. Question is, with reference to polyethylene terephthalate. Here you should actually write immediately. Polyethylene terephthalate means PET. So PET bottle सब एमती आसे ना, PET. So PET गोटे type of plastic विषय रे question कराई छी, which is use of which is so widespread. They have also said it is very widespread in our daily lives. Consider the following statements. First statement, its fibers can be blended with wool and cotton fibers to reinforce their properties. Second statement is that containers made of it can be used to store any alcoholic beverage. Third statement is bottles made of it can be recycled into other products. For this, articles made of it can be easily disposed of by incineration without causing greenhouse gas emissions. Now, एबे आमे just discuss जो करिछु ट्रिक था, एबे ताको यूज करिकी एबे भापो की कोन ही परियो. See the options. Options are double statement combination options, means at least one duita tamne statement correct, duita statement wrong. Now you think which statement, two statements should be correct, which two statements should be wrong.
So 4 is definitely incorrect.
Why?
Then 2, so they see without causing greenhouse gas emissions, so without extreme statements or red flag.
Very good.
ଆଉ ପୁଣି ଏଇଟା ଇନସିନେସନ୍ କରାହଉଛି ତ obviously କିଛି ନା କିଛି ତ କରିବନି emission.
Very good. Excellent.
then second ଟାରେ ବି ସେମିତି ଯୋଉ any alcoholic beverage ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ତ any ବି red flag.
Very good. What else? Anyone else noticed anything? What is this? Tell me, Shivam.
Sir,
Seeing what to go?
it's a ମାନେ ଏମିତି sir superfluous word kind of ଲାଗୁଛି sir.
Very good. Superfluous as well as undue emphasis. Easily disposed. They are saying something can be easily disposed. Now see, this is why I told you that there could be sometimes combination of red and green flag words. Now someone will say ki can be achi. can be अछि ताले एटा positive होबो. But try to understand, even if can be is a green flag, but easily disposed, this is a red flag. Without causing greenhouse gas emissions, this part is actually an extreme statement. Without causing greenhouse gas emissions, how can something be incinerated? Incineration means ताको जळे दवा. गोटे जिनस जळे दउछ सेतरे किछि ग्रीनहाउस गैस एमिशन होनी केमिति एटा पॉसिबल. So therefore, even if there is a one green flag here, there are multiple red flags. Therefore, this is totally entire statement is a red flag. Similarly, see, can be used. Can be, you will say, okay, this is green flag, but store any alcoholic beverage. Okay, any alcoholic beverage means now the scope is very, very wide. Means you are talking about all alcoholic beverage. Any alcoholic beverage माने कौन? किसी भी हमारे करिया. Now किसी alcoholic beverage एमती थियो जोटा बहुत strong थियो और सेटा खराब ही होतो. So therefore, this entire statement would be wrong because there is one red flag. So 1, 2 and 4 is eliminated. Answer becomes 1 and 3. Okay. This is the combination I have tried to show you. Can be is a green flag. Can be plus any. Any is a red flag. Therefore, entire statement is red flag. Third statement can be green flag. Fourth statement easily disposed without GHG emission. Undue emphasis is there. So therefore, entire statement is red flag. So answer will become A. Okay, 1 and 3 only. बुझी होची combination of red flag and green flag.
Yes, sir.
Now very quickly we will go through another of these questions. 2022 year. देखो ए किछि गोटे भी हमें नॉलेज बेसिस रे बेसी डिस्कस करनो. नॉलेज देखो हमको घंटा जणा अछि किछि जणा नहीं क्वेश्चन. Still a person who does not know anything about pet bottles, still using logic and trick the person can answer this question. Whereas तुम यदि भाबियो कि यार पेट विषय रे मु पढिथिली कि नहीं साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी रे कोन पढिथिली, let me try to recall फसियो एग्जाम because you don't have that much time also, right? Now see this question. Other than those made by humans, nanoparticles do not exist in nature. Nanoparticle related question asked. Second statement is nanoparticles of some metallic oxides are used in the manufacture of some cosmetics. See, third statement is nanoparticles of same commercial products which enter the environment are unsafe for humans. Which of the above is or are correct? Now, there could be a combination of many things. First is other than those made by humans. Not entirely superfluous, but still it seems as if slight bit of emphasis is being given. But see this part, nanoparticles do not exist in nature. How can something not exist at all in nature? And how can you prove that it does not exist at all in nature? So we are discussing in general also do not cannot. This is an red flag, right? It cannot happen. Now let's say कि till now we don't know any such natural nanoparticles. Let's say कि after prelims is over, suddenly one scientist discovers that there is some natural nanoparticle which exists in this thing. Now your answer would be wrong, right? So they cannot. How can you prove that there is not at all any such natural nanoparticle? And therefore, it is a red flag. Similarly, now you see second statement: nanoparticles of some metallic oxides are used in the manufacture of some cosmetics. So both are what? Green flag 1, green flag 2. So combination of both green flag means it is total, in total statement is green flag, right? Now nanoparticles of same commercial products which enter the environment are unsafe for humans. Now this seems like a generic statement, nothing extreme is being told. So therefore it is likely also to be true. So the answer would be 2 and 3. Okay. If the one of the options would be 2 only, still you could have some doubt between D and this option. But there is no such option, so you can happily understand the answer is 2 and 3. Would you? Combination of red flag and green flag.
Yes.
Okay. Now again see this question. Many people were actually crying after 2022 prelims. यार कौन हेगला ए बड़े क्वेश्चन यूपीएससी दे देला है ना जाना नहीं बिकॉज़ सी आईआर वाला क्वेश्चन एते डिफिकल्ट आसुतला सडनली ए जो क्वेश्चन आसला बहुत कम पिला जानिथिले ए क्वेश्चन. But if you try to go by knowledge, again, knowledge is limited. So instead, go through some kind of logic or trick. Now, using our logic and trick, you tell me what could be the answer. First statement, BDBD is a large refugee settlement in northwestern Kenya. Let's say I have absolutely no idea about BDBD. I have not heard about Kenya. मते किसी भी जाना नहीं. Still, I will be able to solve this question. Second statement is that some people who fled from South Sudan civil war live in BDBD. Third statement is that some people who fled from the civil war in Somalia live in Dadaab refugee complex in Kenya. Now you tell me which statements are correct, which are wrong.
Sir, second or third statement, green flag laguche, sir.
Okay. Why?
So because some people ମାନେ ଦିଆ ହେଇଛେ, so there is a
Very good.
possibility कि ସେମାନେ ଆସିକିନା ଯାଇପାରିବେ, ବିଡିବିଡି ବି ରହିପାରିବେ ଆଉ ଡବାବ ରିଫ୍ୟୁଜି କମ୍ପ୍ଲେକ୍ସ ରେ ବି ରହିପାରିବେ।
Very good. Excellent. What about, so this is, you are saying this is green flag, this is green flag. है ना? तो एमितिया भी जो दुईटा ग्रीन फ्लैग हला सेमितिया भी बाय द वे हमर आंसर बाहरी गला बिकॉज़ ऑप्शन ने देखो तीनटा वाला ऑप्शन तो किछि नहीं. But still you think about this, there is actually a trap here. Which trap is here? Can you tell me?
So too specific, ମାନେ नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न केन्या करके दिया है।
Very good. This is actually easily interchangeable word. Northwestern. देखो BDBD is a large refugee settlement in northwestern Kenya. Why will they give you the exact location? Maybe he पर northwestern होय कि eastern Kenya हिथियो, north eastern Kenya हबो, south eastern Kenya हबो, or middle Kenya हबो. Why will they give you? See, my point is कि northwestern Kenya easily interchangeable. Now you will also say sir, if northwestern Kenya is easily interchangeable, now this can also be easily interchangeable. South Sudan होय कि आउ किछि हिथियो. But my point is कि जदि भी तुम कह कि साउथ सर साउथ सुदान ही नथियो, मे बी आउ किछि हिथियो. सपोज सेकंड स्टेटमेंट रे ही केन्या हिथियो, इथियोपिया हिथियो. Why will we think this is green flag? Now you think about this way कि चलो केन्या भी, लेट्स से कि केन्या रे भी सिविल वार हिची, बट हमें तो जानछु साउथ सुदान ने भी हिची. तो साउथ सुदान ने जो सिविल वार हिथियो सेथुर किछि लोक आसी बीडीबीडी रे रहुथबे, सम पीपल जे रहुचंती. हाउ कैन यू disprove this? How can you disprove this statement? See, this statement, this is easy to disprove. Northwestern Kenya re nahi mane nahi. You can easily show ki, okay, this is the map. Northwestern nahi, eastern part re achi. But can you disprove this statement? Some people who fled from South Sudan civil war live in BDBD. कि आमे BDBD रे सब जगह बुली बुली देखिया कि एठी साउथ सुदान रो लोक नांती, एठी नांती, एठी नांती. You cannot prove that. And in future also, maybe some hidden habitation will be discovered. कि ये लोक माने आसीथिले, केबेटु आसी रहउछन साउथ सुदान रे आमे जानि न. Are you able to understand? This is very hard to disprove. And
Yes,
this
sir.
this is also a very generic statement. Some people, किछि people तो साउथ सुदान नु आसी जाइथे बीडीबीडी को. आमे केमितिया ताको डिस्प्रूव करिया. एबे एई बडा फिर भी यदि बुझी पार न, एबे ए कथा भाबो कि some people from Israel are living in India. Can this statement ever be wrong? ए स्टेटमेंट को रॉन्ग प्रूव करिया पे हमको इंडिया जाको खोजी की गोटे कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव रिपोर्ट बाहर करिया पड़ियो कि इंडिया रे गोटे सिंगल इजरायली नहन. एंड दैट इज आल्सो वेरी अनलाइकली. गोटे किए ना किए गोटे दुटा इजरायली आसी गले भी क्वेश्चन स्टेटमेंट ठीक है. सम इजरायली पीपल आर देयर. So therefore this statement can never be wrong. So some people who fled from South Sudan civil war live in BDBD. Obviously this is a green flag. Similarly, some people who have fled from civil war in Somalia, they are living in Dadaab refugee complex in Kenya. रहुथवे. तुम्हें केन जान लो कहीं जोड़े भी सिंगल लोक नांती. So obviously the answer would be 2 and 3. Now एबे तुम्हें भाबो कि एबे जण पिला भाबियो कि यार करंट अफेयर्स नु पढिथली बीटीबीटी कोड थिला, केन्या डा कोड थिला, साउथ सुदान में सिविल वार से माने आसीथिले कि नहीं. किछि ए सब जिंस नॉलेज बेसिस रे टोटली जिवार नाही. मु तुमको बार बार कहूची नॉलेज बेसिस रे जीवो बुडियो. ओके. So first statement आम एंड डिस्कस करथुलु इजीली इंटरचेंजेबल वर्ड्स. यू रिमेंबर बारेन आइलैंड वोल्केनो क्वेश्चन ने देथिला lies 140 km east of Great Nicobar Island. Actually the answer was 140 km west of Great Nicobar Island or something like that. माने साने ईस्ट को केवल डायरेक्शन टाको चेंज कर देथिले. Similarly यार भी डायरेक्शन चेंज ही नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न केनिया एग्जैक्टली तुमको दे बोली कौन फायदा माने कौन गारंटी अछि राइट एंड S2 S3 आर obviously green था बुझी होची अपन था
Yes, sir.
now the next thing is chindi tricks of UPSC chindi tricks कौन देखो किछि ट्रैप अछि UPSC रो some मार चलो टिके लेवल ओके टिके डिसेंट ट्रैप किछि ट्रैप अछि very very chindi means very very down market low quality now एई बळे हमकु भलो लागे नाही but what to do UPSC is doing this so we have also to understand decent trap माने कोन this is usually semantically used or meaning based or where they want to explore whether you have some kind of logic or not but chindi traps are what there is no logic or anything these are just traps that UPSC wants to eliminate maximum number of people. So one of those such cheap tricks is swapping options. Swapping option माने दुईटा statement एक वाला दुईटा की तीनटा statement हुआ just they would have interchanged content between them. So you have to be mentally alert okay for these kind of swapping. Now यार example देखो first statement दीची digital technology related in augmented reality a simulated environment is created and the physical world is completely shut out. In virtual reality, images generated from computer are projected onto real life objects or surroundings. And third statement is AR, augmented reality, allows individuals to be present in the world and improves the experience using the camera of smartphone or PC. Fourth statement is that VR closes the world, virtual reality closes the world and transposes the individual, providing complete immersion experience. Which of the following statements are correct? You tell me.
Sir, first statement red flag दिसते sir.
Okay.
Completely shut out.
Very good.
So 1 and 3 option probably eliminate here. So it leaves us with statement 3 and 4.
Okay. 1 and 3, why will you eliminate 3 then? 3 रे तो किसी extreme statement नहीं.
No sir, ମୁଁ କହୁଛି 3 और 4 ଥି ଖାଲି statement ରହିଗଲା
अच्छा
जेटा we
अच्छा
have to
okay
leave.
okay. हाँ you are saying अच्छा you are eliminating from here. Okay. Okay. So if you eliminate option 1, then 3B and D are left out. 3 and
Yes sir,
3 4
B
only, 4
and D
only.
are left out माने we have to deal with
B
only
and D.
two statements.
So that means 4 is definitely correct. Now you just have to think about 3.
Yes.
Now you can go in this way also. ठीक है, correct. This is also one way of reasoning. Now you think should 3 be correct or not? Anyone
Yes
else?
sir,
Yes, sir. Three is correct.
generic statement लागू છે sir. And
Very good.
improve experiences using the money improves the
Camera.
experience using the
Very
camera of
good.
smartphone or PC. So
So that
probably
means
the answer.
in this way also you are able to arrive at 3 and 4 only. Okay, excellent. Any other reasoning? आओ किए किसी भाव से आओ कौन reasoning नहीं करियो. Different way of reasoning.
Sir, ଏଠି statement 1 ଆଉ 2 actually interchange ହେଇଛି.
Very good. Why do you think interchange is good?
Sir, ଏଇଟା ମାନେ ଆଗ ଗୋଟେ ଯୋଉ ପୋକେମନ ଗୋଟେ ଗେମ୍ ଅଛି ସେଟା ଅଗମେଣ୍ଟେଡ ରିଆଲିଟି
Very
ଉପରେ
good.
ତ ସେଇଟା କିନ୍ତୁ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଷ୍ଟେଟମେଣ୍ଟର ଯୋଉ ଦେଇଛି ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲାନେସନ ତ ସେଇଟା ଅଗମେଣ୍ଟେଡ ରିଆଲିଟିର ଆଉ ଭର୍ଚୁଆଲ ରିଆଲିଟି ବି ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ ଯାହା ବି ଆଡଭର୍ଟାଇଜମେଣ୍ଟରେ କି ଇଏରେ ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଲଗେଇକି ମାନେ ଅଲରେଡି ମାନେ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ୱାର୍ଲଡକୁ ପଳେଇ ଯାଆନ୍ତି ମାନେ ଫିଜିକାଲ ୱାର୍ଲଡ ଇଜ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟଲି ସର୍ଟ ଆଉଟ୍.
Very good. So here you have to use wordplay, right? What is the wordplay here? Augmented. Augmentation means what? Something added. Added माने कौन? बेसिक किसी गोटे जिनस थी ता ऊपर ऑगमेंटेशन हो, राइट? सो बेसिक जिनस कौन? बेसिक जिनस हला रियलिटी. सो रियलिटी विल बी देयर, but on top of reality there will be some virtual part. That is the meaning of augmented. But if it is only virtual, means it is completely digital, means reality totally nahi. This is not added, this is replaced. This replaces reality. So यार माने कौन? Simply augmented reality कौन? जिनकी Manshu gave the example of Pokemon Go. You would have seen कि it uses the phone's camera. So the environment तुमरो जहाँ भी सामने थी वो सेटा शो करतो. बट सेथिरे कौन तुम कैमरा रे आउ किछि अजीब जिंस आसीयो, माने तुमको कैमरा रे देखौथो एठी सपोज एठी गोटे ट्री अछि, से ट्री ऊपर से गोटे डिजिटल फॉर्म गोटे क्रिएट कर दो, एठी गोटे पोकेमॉन बस. So they are using reality, but on top of reality there is some digital part. Okay, so this is augmented reality, AR. VR means what? ଏବେ ଯେମିତି Apple Vision ଆସୁଛି, ତ ସେମିତିଆ ପୁରା goggles ଲଗେଇଦବ, totally you will be completely shut off from the real world and you will be immersed in the digital world. So now you are not seeing what is your camera is showing, now you are seeing what is the software is showing you. So you are completely shut out from the real world. So from the logic you can see that what they have done is कि augmented reality को completely shut out कहते माने VR बोली कहते, VR को AR बोली कहते. They have simply swapped the options, interchange कर देते. So eliminating 1 and 2, if you eliminate 1 and 2 in general also you will get the answer. 1 कटिगला, 1 कटिगला, 2 कटिगला, 3 and 4 only, 4 only, and that means entirely it all depends on number 3. Augmented reality allows individuals to be present in the world and improves the experience using the camera. So obviously, augmentation means something which improves or adds to the experience. Therefore, it is a generic statement, green flag. So therefore, it means 3 and 4 both will be correct. Okay. This is the logic. So this is a chindi trick, but sometimes they'll give you such kind of tricks, traps. Now consider this statement now. Sacred groves. First statement, it is an in situ method of biodiversity conservation. Second statement, they are notified by the state government under Biodiversity Act 2002. Third statement, animal hunting in sacred groves is completely prohibited under Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Take a minute and think about it and go on our answer.
Sir, one is correct. Then threeଟା red flag ଲାଗୁଛି because burning spaces ବି ଅଛି, ତ completely prohibited ତ ଲାଗୁନି. ତ 3 କୁ ଆମେ ଯଦି element କରୁଛେ option A ଆଉ C ରହୁଛି, ମାନେ statement 1 କରିଦେବୁ. 1 ତ ଠିକ ଅଛି but 2 ରେ 2 ବି ମାନେ ଏଟା ତ state government ଅଛି, ସେଟା ବି replaceable, like ଏଟା center ବି ହେଇପାରିଥାନ୍ତା, center ବି ହେଇପାରିବ. ତ marking option A only, ମାନେ 1 only.
Okay. Anyone else?
Sir, option C ठीक लग रहा.
Option C ठीक लग. Okay, why?
Because sir, secret group is an in situ method, that is correct. And third statement is incorrect, sir, because it is not completely prohibited. And second statement is also correct, because secret group is specific to some state, so it could be notified under the state code.
Okay. But there is a trap here. Think about it. Think about these acts. Is Sacred Grove notified under Biodiversity Act? Think.
No, sir, wildlife protection.
Okay. So that means what? Actually, what they have done is they have interchanged these two parts. Okay. They are notified. Actually, Sacred Groves are notified under Wildlife Protection Act. And annual hunting interchange no. Completely prohibition usually habo nahi. Sacred Groves re. Second katha hala ki it should not become. Logically, it seems maybe Wildlife Protection Act under hi astu. But think about another thing. sacred groves रे annual hunting ସବୁ sacred groves रे completely prohibit हवा wildlife protection act रो को act एमतिया को provision under रे आसीबो wildlife protection act how it protects की it usually gives schedules है ना now schedule ले तो species specific schedule अछि ସେଥିରେ थोड़ी ना एरिया स्पेसिफिक शेड्यूल अछि एरियास तो କିଛି ନାହିଁ କି ଗୋଟେ शेड्यूल एमतिया अछि कि सैक्रेड ग्रोव्स रे जहा थिबो सेटा को प्रोटेक्शन दिया हो आ गोटे अछि कि चलो नेशनल पार्क रे जो ए स्पीसीज को प्रोटेक्शन दिया हो शेड्यूल्स उडा कोन अछि शेड्यूल्स 1 टू 6 जहा भी थिला जो 1972 एक्ट कथा कहू नुआ एक्ट रे तो चारिटा शेड्यूल अछि ସେଥିରେ कोन थिला एमनी शेड्यूल 1 एंड 2 थिला हायर प्रोटेक्शन शेड्यूल 2 एंड सॉरी 3 एंड 4 थिला लोअर लेवल ऑफ प्रोटेक्शन 5 थिला vermins related but see even this was not related to sacred groves or any specific area this was in general and sixth thila prohibited plants so that means ki wildlife protection act under the india ki mention nahi right? So what will be the answer one only now many people what they would do ki they will if you think only intuitively basic kichi depth re bhabiyo nahi then immediately you will think ki ha he thibo state government under biodiversity act बायोडायवर्सिटी माने कोन बायोडायवर्सिटी को प्रोटेक्ट करिया पे एक्ट जोटा हिची सैक्रेड ग्रोव्स रे बायोडायवर्सिटी अछन सेथे ने कह हां एटा भी ठीक हेतियो वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट तो अछि हमरो प्रोटेक्शन करिया को सो देयरफॉर मे बी इट वुड हैव कंप्लीटली प्रोहिबिटेड देन यू विल गो विथ 1 2 and 3 and you will get it wrong okay so बहुत इमीडिएटली सब आंसर माने देखि कि खुशी कि मार दबो नाही थिंक अ बिट इन डेप्थ कि किछि ट्रैप एथे थाई पारे कि नहीं see this is very seemingly very simple question but still if you don't think about it then you get it wrong okay easily interchangeable words मोटे लिखी थी but यार immediately मते मिलला नहीं चलो एटा परे हमें करिया let's do one more let's say bonus trick as you already discussed with you 17th it is 16th I think 17th let's discuss the 17th trick here then we will end the class 17th trick is when option hints at answer this is the last trick for today यार माने कौन बेले बेले देखियो स्पेसिफिकली इन टू ऑप्शन क्वेश्चंस टू और मोर ऑप्शंस थाई करे ओके टू और मोर भी ही थाई करे usually what they will do is ki initially they will introduce a topic this is the statement 1 in statement 2 they will say something more about the topic some specific fact and similarly statement 3 could also be there some other facts other information or other statement could be there okay then you would be asked to choose abcd in a combination of these options 1 only 2 and 3 only 1 2 and 3 1 and 3 only okay now this is usually introduction or topic means this is usually an unheard of topic or it is a difficult topic that UPSC knows that probably students don't know. So many people what they will do is ki they will just simply quit this. Mane they will attempt it. But here you have to understand if there are further statements which is saying something about the topic. These may be correct or these may be wrong. It doesn't matter. But from that they will also give you some idea. They will get enough content to use tricks. So what I'm trying to tell you is कि किसी गोटे नुआ concept किसी गोटे नुआ question आसिले suddenly panic करिवो नाही okay? Because option नहीं समाने enough तुमको hint थिवो जो जा थ्रू तुम solve कर करी यार example कौन let's take one example so consider the following statements with respect to Bennu recently in news? Let's say this is your question. What are the statements? First is, it is a B-type asteroid. Second statement, it has a very low carbon content. Third statement is, it reflects maximum amount of light. That it receives. And what are your options? One only, one and two only. C is 2 and 3 only. D is 1, 2 and 3. Now we think and tell me. कौन ही थे पर?
So maybe all of that, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Why?
Sir, about this topic we never heard. So maybe UPSC has given all the three statements, correct?
So see, this is the trap that science and tech na. Both पिला कौन कहे भाभी? Science and tech question माने all of the above. Specifically gave you this example so that you have to be aware of it.
Sir,
See,
option A.
earlier, up to I think 2019 or 20 around, ये trick टा काम करता है. Science and tech देखले मैंने पिला मैंने किसी भावुन नसले all of the above मार दूसरे, and usually that was also correct. But gradually UPSC also, maybe they saw some YouTube videos so देखले पिला ने सब activity मारुचंती. Now they started to give you tricky questions. एबे कौन science and tech ले भी all of the above ठीक हो नहीं सब world. So we have to think a bit in depth. Yes, Himanshu, I think you were saying something.
Sir, option A, one only. Because
Okay.
ମାନେ ମୋର reasoning ହଉଛି କି second statement जो ଦେଇଛି very low carbon content, ତ जो very low carbon content ଟା ମାନେ replaceable, like maybe ତାର opposite भी ହେଇଯାଇପାରେ, ମାନେ very high carbon content maybe. And
Excellent.
जो yes, and third time जो maximum amount of light ତାକୁ quantify କେମିତି କରିବେ କି ମାନେ କେତେ reflects କରୁଛି ବୋଲି?
Yes,
So
excellent. You see, S1, it is a B-type asteroid. We don't know which type of asteroid. Hey pare, A type, hey pare, C type, hey pare, we don't know. Okay. We'll see some other statement kichi how kichi specific काम पाखरे trick किछि अछि. Second statement C, very low carbon content. Seems like a sort of exaggeration. I will not say this extreme word. We had discussed one trick is extreme words. Second trick we had discussed also exaggeration. This is not extreme, but this is exaggeration, means bit low in intensity, but still it is a red flag. Third statement is it reflects maximum. Again, maximum seems like an exaggeration. The question is, who can define how much is maximum? Very low तो फिर भी ठीक अच्छी, define माने define करिया दरकार नहीं. You can generically also you can say कि very low अच्छी, very high अच्छी. Maximum amount, how can you define what is the maximum amount? And it is also very likely कि these are all easily interchangeable words. कौन ही थई पारे? देखो, ही थई पारे बेन्नू actually कौन की very low carbon content no, very high carbon content अछि. And it may not reflect maximum amount of light, maybe it is reflecting less amount of light. Now think of another thing also. जदि गोटे asteroid टा maximum amount of light reflect करूची, so asteroid एम तार space रे जाउची. Let's say कि it is sun अछि, maximum amount of light reflect करूची. ताले एटा अर्थ को भी इजीली visible थांता. एटा तो बहुत बेसी न्यूज रे थांता, हम जानि पारथांतो गोटे asteroid एमते बुलुची बोली. एई भलिया केबे न्यूज रे देखिछ कि asteroid टा खाली आखिरे देखा जाउतो बुलुतो? Comet is a different thing. Comet is different because when this thing comes into Earth's atmosphere, now it is visible. एबे से atmosphere रे जळि जिवो, सेबे सेटा देखा जिवो. But asteroid माने कोन? से Earth atmosphere आखपाखरे नाही, से बहुत दूर रे तार बुलुची. So ताको आमे एमती देखियार के सुनचे बहुत बेसी लाइट रिफ्लेक्ट करछ माने कोन? बढ़िया फोटोग्राफ सब आसतो. ये भलिया किसी एस्टेरॉयड कथा के सुनछे यूजुअली एस्टेरॉयड को हमें डिटेक्ट करिया भी डिफिकल्ट फोटो नवा भी डिफिकल्ट तार so my point is ki probably these are माने turned into the opposite things maybe less amount of light reflect करथुआ but आपको maximum कर दीजिए these are the red flags and the answer is one only okay now I'm not denying कि it is a very difficult question and जदि तुम बेनु पढ़ी न करंट अफेयर से in general भी तुमको डर लगे but still there are some tricks that you can use to get to the answer now I'll give you another example 2021 for example what a question asla R2 code of practices do you remember R2 code of practices is a tool to promote what promote the use of your options are A रे कहतला environmentally responsible practices in electronics recycling industry second ecological management of Ramsar sites मतलब लिखुची हतले भाबुता immediately will discuss ये भाबुता ये कौन आंसर ही पर third is sustainable cultivation of crops in degraded land or something fourth option is environmental impact assessment in natural resource exploitation. Now you tell me what could be the answer.
Sir, B answer लागे sir word play like R2 Ramsar sites and
Very good.
माने ecological management it would need a code of practice. माने first टा भी लागु छे but B seems sir माने टिके बेसी chances ଅଛି ଏନ୍ତା ଲାଗୁଛି।
Also, you could also think about this way. कि usually Ramsar site ଗୋଟେ ଭଲ ଜିନିଷ ଯୋଉ wetland conservation this is an important topic and this is a favorite topic of UPSC so maybe they have asked this right this logic can also work but you
Yes
are
sir.
missing one very important point here think there is a very excellent thing here okay.
सर ଏଠି ରିସାଇକ୍ଲିଂ ହେଇପାରେ କି ମତେ ଅପସନ୍ ଏ ଲାଗୁଛି R2
କାହିଁକି
ମାନେ
recycle ହବ
ମାନେ ट्रिपल आर ଆମେ କରୁନେ ମାନେ ରିୟୁଜ ରିସାଇକେଲ ଆଉ କଣ ଥାଏ ମାନେ
ହଁ
ତ
type R भी ଅଛି refuse
ଏଥିରେ ସେ
reduce
ହଁ
reuse
ସାଇକେଲ
recycle repurpose हाँ ସେଇ ଭଳିଆ ବି ହେଇପାରିବ very good what else any other
सर कोड
idea
ऑफ सर कोड ऑफ प्रैक्टिस माने जोटा एक्चुअली प्रैक्टिकली होउथबो तो सेही लॉजिक रे एटा हबो ଆଉ क्वेश्चन भी प्रैक्टिस अछि ए रे भी प्रैक्टिस अछि
very good I wanted you to note two things first is practices direct देखो एठी practices match कर लीजिए first of all although I'm not denying that this is a very superficial level of logic but notice this thing also R2 माने कौन at least दुईटा R थियो गोटे R1 गोटे R2 ई भलिया किछ थियो ना R थियो रामसर साइड वाला ऑप्शन देखो गोटे सिंगल R अछि सी ऑप्शन देखो कल्टीवेशन ऑफ क्रॉप्स इन डिग्रेडेड लैंड तो गोटे सिंगल R भी नाही टोटल नहीं तो एक्टिविटी हम काटी दो मो कहया कथा हम एमती तृष्णा मिशन कथा डिस्कस करू किछि गोटे शॉर्ट फॉर्म थिबो शॉर्ट फॉर्म ता तो किछि एक्सपैंड होतो ना एक्सपैंड ही किछि गोटे जिंस गोटे होतो व्हिच वुड बी रिलेटेड टू दैट टॉपिक तो हम सेही शॉर्ट फॉर्म को सेही लेटर गुडारू खोजिया कि कोन लिंक ही थाई पारे R2 माने RR तो किछि गोटे थिबो एबे देखो एथिरे भी रिसोर्स एक्सप्लॉयटेशन गोटे सिंगल आर अछि एनवायरमेंटल ई आई ए एन आर ई किछि भी नाही गोटे सिंगल आर अछि तो एटा R1 तो नाही एटा R2 एबे एटा देखो एनवायरमेंटली रेस्पोंसिबल प्रैक्टिसेस इन रिसाइक्लिंग इंडस्ट्री This is one logic. Second logic is 5 R's already we know. बहुत सारा R अच्छे recycling रे बहुत सारा R अच्छे. कौन कौन अच्छे? Reduce, refuse, reuse, repurpose, recycle ये सब जिनिस R अच्छे. So that means कि it is more likely to be correct. Statement A. Are you able to understand or not? This is actually the better logic, not this logic. Although चलो किसी पिला ये logic through रे भी answer बाहर कर दे. But I think this logic is better. कि R2 means दुईटा R2. देखो मन रखियो सबले शॉर्ट फॉर्म कि किसी एक्रोनिम एथिरे मैच करिवो विथ ऑप्शंस. ऑप्शन में सिमिलर एक्रोनिम सिमिलर साउंडिंग वर्ड किसी अछि कि स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम दैट सेम लेटर. ओके, जेमिति कि भाबो ए भले आउ कोन कोन एग्जांपल अछि. लेट्स से कि आउ कोन एमतिया ये अछि. कैन यू नेम ऑफ सच मे बी मिशन और स्कीम जोटा ई भले गोटे माने शॉर्ट फॉर्म हेतियो व्हिच इज रिलेटेड टू दैट टॉपिक. मन पड़ने बट तुम एग्जांपल देबी. ओके, आई विल गिव यू एग्जांपल. बट माय पॉइंट इज कि जहां भी तुमरो ए भले यदि क्वेश्चन जहां भी आस्तियो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ट्राई टू सी कि व्हाट कैन बी द डायरेक्ट रेफरेंस, देन ट्राई टू सी कि व्हाट कुड बी द एक्सपेंशन ऑफ दैट शॉर्ट फॉर्म. ओके, ठीक है. सो एनीवे वी स्टिल हैव सम टाइम. आ गोटे गोटे कर दो एक्स्ट्रा गोटे ट्रिक कर दो ना क्लास बंद कर दो. व्हाट डू यू
Yes, sir, कर दो.
करिया? ओके, इट्स वेरी सिंपल ट्रिक. ओके, random numbers. What do you think? Ki random numbers thile probably correct or probably wrong?
wrong.
Black.
Very good. Probably wrong. Okay. But see, surface level earlier कौन होतला और एबे recent trends कौन? Earlier होतला कि random numbers usually wrong. Okay. Recent trend कौन होची कि unexpected topics or माने unheard of subjects. एथिरे बेले बेले figures may be correct. Okay. But well-known topics or subjects रे usually figures are usually wrong. Mane as before. I'll give you example. Let's see how UPSC is making our life harder. See, 2020 PYQ got a question astela. Consider the following statements with respect to ocean mean temperature. Okay, which is called as OMT. First statement is OMT is measured up to a depth of 26 degree Celsius isotherm, which is 129 meters in southwestern Indian Ocean during January and March. Don't worry if you don't know this, please don't feel bad. I'm telling you for certainty, out of the 6 lakh people who would have attempted prelims that year, not a single person would have known the answer. Okay, I can personally guarantee you. ଏବେ ମୁଁ ତ ଜାଣେନି ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ, but I know that no one knew the answer. OMT collected during January to March can be used in assessing if monsoonal rainfall will be more or less than a certain long-term mean or average. Now your options are A 1 only, B 2 only, C both correct, D neither correct. Now you tell me what is the answer.
Sir, first option ta sir, बहुत टे एंता जिनिस माने अच्छे एंता up to a depth of 26 degrees, 129 meters, southwestern Indian Ocean. तो
Very good,
को भी गोटे भी कंपोनेंट जदि चेंज हो गला बेले ऑप्शन टा भूल ही जबा तो
very good,
probably a red flag sir first और
very good.
second टा use can be used and
Excellent.
will be more or less, so it's a green flag.
Very good. I'm really happy. More or less. More or less means they are talking about some kind of average, right? So means they are also not saying for certain. Now here the problem is 26-degree isotherm first of all, 129 meters, and most importantly, southwestern Indian Ocean. You see, there are multiple red flags here. What are the red flags? If you consider this, S1 में कितने सारा red flag अच्छी देखो, multiple figures. अच्छा, we had not discussed this. Multiple figures. Usually wrong. Okay. Multiple figures such. This is one red flag. Second red flag is easily interchangeable words. Which are easily interchangeable? Can you tell me?
Directions.
Southwestern Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean itself. Indian Ocean no hai ki maybe Pacific Ocean hi Atlantic Ocean hi January, March also if you think. This can also be true. See, here also it is there, January, March. But you see how many such interchangeable words are here. If any of these things are changed, then your entire statement would be wrong. So there is multiple red flags. Again, you see multiple red flags RF1, RF2, RF3. So obviously this entire statement would be RF. Okay, we had discussed कि गोटे green flag थिले भी यदि आउ गोटे single भी red flag अछि, it is likely to be a red flag. अब एठी तो multiple एमती भी अछि. The second statement, if you see, can be January to March. Okay, chalo January to March, maybe it could also have been changed. But you see the overall feeling of the statement. What is the overall feeling? Can be used in assessing if monsoonal rainfall will be more or less than a certain long-term mean or average. So overall feeling is green flag. Now the second question is, if someone would still say ki, sir, Jan to March also could have been changed in the second statement. Now see, they are not saying ki Jan to March only. Only Jan to March information collected during this month can be used in the assessment of monsoonal rainfall. They are saying ki Jan to March ro data be use ही करियो. तो असुविधा कौन अछि? जदि एक्चुअली मे जून रो डेटा यूज करिया कथा भी सपोज तुम कहयो कि जान सर जनवरी मार्च वाला डेटा नो एक्चुअली मे जून रो डेटा और अप्रैल मे रो डेटा बेटर हेतिले बेटर हेता तो से तो कहू ना दी केवल जनवरी रो मार्च रो डेटा ही यूज हबो आ को मास रो डेटा यूज हबो नाही बोली तो असुविधा कोन जनवरी मार्च भी किछि तो इंफॉर्मेशन यूज ही परथो मॉनसूनल रेनफॉल ले बिकॉज़ मॉनसूनल रेनफॉल टा केबे आसीयो जून रे जाई के आसीयो तो जान मार्च रो भी किछि माने प्रीवियस इंफॉर्मेशन किछि भी यूज ही करियो असुविधा कोन अछि. So overall, that means overall it is answer is 2 only. बुझी होची कौन कौन.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my point is कि always it is not necessary कि always random figures should be wrong, but usually it is wrong. And the recent trend माने कौन कि random figures देखी कि random number देखी immediately भावियों कि wrong ही थियो. Just think a little bit in depth. जदि random numbers बहुत सारा multiple random numbers छी ताले it is more likely to be red flag. Okay. Number 1, number 2, number 3 एमती अछि. It is a red flag. बट हेई पारे बेले बेले कोन कि रैंडम नंबर करेक्ट भी हेई पारे गोटे जदि ओवरऑल देखो एथरे भी एमती हम गोटे रैंडम नंबर तो गोटे रैंडम फिगर गोटे दिया जायछि जान रु मार्च एटा तो करेक्ट हला ना figure নহলে ବି ମାନେ କଣ ଗୋଟେ specific thing କୁହାଯାଇଛି January to March, but still it is correct. Why? Because it is overall, very, it is giving a very generic price. Therefore it is correct. ସେଇଭଳିଆ କିଛି random number ଯଦି generic number ଥିବ, then also it can also be correct. Okay. Okay. 8:50 ହେଇଛି, ଆଉ 10 minute ରେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ସାରିଦେବା. I think very short trick. 18th na. Discuss one more. 20th ରୁ next class ରୁ start କରିବା. Showing government in a good light. This is the trick. You can also think of this as ki UPSC is a government organization. So you can guess obviously कौन या माने ही क्यों होचा?
So মানে pro government statements.
Pro government statement. That means कि गोटे क्वेश्चन रे यदि एई भला किसी स्टेटमेंट थियो जोटा कि गवर्नमेंट को गुड लाइट रे देखो, तो गवर्नमेंट रो पॉजिटिव जिंस हाईलाइट कर. So we can talk about this. If statement reads like, then it is likely to be. If the statement reads like pro government, okay, or showing government in a positive light, then it is likely to be correct. If it reads like anti government, then it actually on a negative light to show government, it is likely to be wrong. What is the logic here? Logic is UPSC is a government organization. The government organization is a government against the data show करे. यार example कौन? Suppose what a scheme ଅଛି, okay. तो scheme रे किसी भलो जिंस होइथियो, किसी खराब जिंस होइथियो. UPSC suppose गोटे स्टेटमेंट देछि कि ए स्कीम रे बहुत भलो काम होइछि, पॉवर्टी आमे आउट ऑफ पॉवर्टी करनै छि, किछि लोकन को एतिकी मिलियन रो एतिकी लोकन को आमे आउट ऑफ पॉवर्टी करनै छि. आउ गोटे स्टेटमेंट होछि कि स्कीम टा आउ गोटे अन्य स्कीम, सपोज ए स्कीम टा पूरा फेलियर ହେଇछि, एटा किछि काम करे नाही, एमते आइछि, खराब ହେଇछि, जा भी ହେଇछि. So which statement is likely to be correct? This is likely to be correct, this is likely to be wrong. The reason is, why will UPSC show government in the bad light? At the end of the day, the people who are framing question in UPSC, they are also answerable to the government. They are part of the executive. एबे भाबो क्वेश्चन दुई तीन टा एमितिया क्वेश्चन आसिला जोटा के एई तो गवर्नमेंट तो किछि काम कर नाही, पॉवर्टी इंक्रीज करी छि, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट इंक्रीज करी छि. नाउ दिस इज आल्सो मीडिया रे हाईलाइट हो. यूपीएससी ए वाला क्वेश्चन करछि कि गवर्नमेंट को खराब नजर रे लोक माने देखुछंती, तो व्हाट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया विल डू कि इमीडिएटली चेंज द यूपीएससी चेयरमैन. न्यू चेयरमैन विल कम, न्यू चेयरमैन विल से कि भाई साहब ए वाला क्वेश्चन दियो नहीं, भलो भलो गवर्नमेंट को हमहु भलो देखियार अछि. Very simple trick, but it will work like a charm, believe me. So let's take an example. 2022 रो ଗୋଟେ question था. Okay. Consider the following statements with respect to Ayushman Bharat, digital mission, that is ABDM. What are the statements? Private and public hospitals must adopt it. Okay. Second statement, as it aims to achieve universal health coverage, every Indian citizens should be part of it ultimately. Is your spider sense tingling or not?
Yes, sir.
Statement लिख लो. It has seamless portability across India. Be ready to answer. What are the options? 1 and 2 only, 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Now you tell me, red flag, green flag, कौन लाउची statement पड़ी?
Sir, 2 or 3 तो sir complete green flag ଲାଗୁଛି because it portrays the government in good light ଆଉ normal ମାନେ ଏନ୍ତା statement ମାନେ ଦେଇଛି ଯେନ୍ଟା government ରୁ expected ଅଛି. First ଟା ଦେଇଛି must adopt it, but ଯେହେତୁ option ରେ ହିଁ ମାନେ ଏମିତି only 2 and 3 ନାହିଁ no, so I would go with 1, 2, 3 ମାନେ all of them option D.
All of the above. Okay. Any other
Must adopt,
reason?
sir, must adopt it ଦେଇଛି which seems like a red flag, but 2 and 3 तो sir option नहीं no.
Then your
So
logic should also little bit change ना, भाभो अब कौन करेगा?
सर जो
अच्छा, 2
three only,
2
sir.
भाभो ठीक.
सर
Very,
से
there are 2 ढहाव. हाँ, को देवचंदन.
सर से स्टेटमेंट 2 रे जे प्राइवेट इंश्योरेंस ନେଇଥିବ ସେ କାହିଁକି ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ର ନବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହିଁବ?
Very good. This is also a good logic. ଆଉ ବି ଭାବ, ଆଉ ବି ଗୋଟେ ବଢିଆ trick ଆମେ discuss କରିଛୁ already. Statement 2 ରେ ବଢିଆ use ହବ.
So ultimate.
Sir, as it aims to achieve মানে superfluous
Not superfluous. Not हाँ superfluous भी ହେଇପାରିବ. But think S2 ରେ Pujarsana, I think Pujarsana, were you trying to say something? ଆଉ ଜଣେ କିଏ ଅଛି? No,
Sir
I
ମୁଁ
think
କହୁଥିଲି କି ultimately word ଟା ବି use ହଉଛି.
very good. Now ultimately is actually superfluous, or you can say देखो S2 रे केते सारा red flag अछि. S2 रे first red flag in fact अछि कि that is जो justification. Okay, isn't this logical or isn't this justified? First red flag. Okay, कि ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ justification ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ reasoning ଦେଇ दउछन, justification or reasoning दउछन. Second red flag is ultimately. हाँ, second is every Indian citizen. Every Indian citizen, this is extreme word. Third is ultimately. Ultimately होची undue exaggeration, undue emphasis, कुछ भी कही पारे. Undue emphasis. Okay. Superfluous word also. So that means 2 can actually never be true. So 2 तो हमें एमती भी delete कर दो, eliminate कर दो. First part C, private and public hospitals must adopt it. How can you force a private hospital to adopt something? It's very difficult to force them, and must is what? S1 is, this is extreme.
extreme.
But look at the third statement. The third statement is saying it has seamless portability across India. What a scheme ହେଇଛି जोटा कि seamless portability ଅଛି, showing government in a good light. Okay. ଏବେ ଭାବ ଯଦି ଏ statement ଟା wrong ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା कि it actually this scheme does not have seamless portability across India. ताले न्यूज रे कौन आस्थांता, प्रिलिम्स वाला पर आस्थांता गोटे न्यूज आस्थांता कि यूपीएससी हाइलाइट्स द लैकुना ऑफ आयुष्मान भारत व्हिच इज नॉट सीमलेस. मे बी किछोटे इश्यू हेतियो तापर हेटा पॉलिटिकल पार्टी गाने उठेगी डिस्कस करियो. नाउ यू कैन आल्सो से कि सर इफ दैट इज द इश्यू देन यू कैन आल्सो से कि प्राइवेट को भी फोर्स करया कथा. बर्तन मो कहया कथा होची कि प्राइवेट को मस्ट अडॉप्ट करया पे फोर्स करया, इज इट अ गुड थिंग? If a scheme is forcing private hospitals to also adopt it, this is not necessarily a good thing, because then you are only going for welfare and you will not have any profit based institutions. We also need some profit based, private sector participation keem there. Don't think कि health और education में भी सबो बड़े welfare scheme टा काम करिया ही best. There also we need private entrepreneurship. So don't think कि एटा भी government को good light रे show करছে. Actually this is not showing government in a good light. Quite the opposite actually. If you are forcing the private sector to implement some scheme, okay, it's not necessarily in some cases maybe related to some other topic, it may be good thing, but here it is not a good thing. Okay. And second thing is ki it is also must. It is saying must means it is an extreme statement. So answer will be 3 only. Buji hochi? Any doubt so far? We have discussed so many tricks today. I think कितने number ରୁ start करूँ? 13, 14 ରୁ start करूँ. 11 ରୁ start करूँ. 11 ରୁ 19. So we have discussed 9 important tricks. Any questions so far? आज बुझियाला जागा discussion.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ସେ ଡାଉଟ୍ ତ ନାହିଁ sir, but like ଆମେ ଏଇଟା ଟ୍ରିକ୍ ମାନେ ପଢୁଛୁ, ତ ମାନେ how do we strengthen ମାନେ ଆମ aptitude ଟା towards MCQ like this? ମାନେ କାଣା କରମୁ ବେଲେ, should we do more mocks or just PYQs?
Yes. See, tricks here you are learning here, but finally you have to use it in the mocks. If you don't use it, then you will not internalize it. And in actual exam, you can only do those things which you have internalized. Actual exam रे believe me, ये सब ट्रिक पढ़ी की भी तुम सब ट्रिक तुमको जाना अछि, बट जदि मॉक रे याकू यूज न करिचो एक्चुअल एग्जाम रे करिया को तुम हेजिटेट करियो. You know why you will hesitate? Because it is not internalized. You will think कि अरे यार तुमको हेतु डर लागियो कि तुमको एटा रिस्की लागियो, तो लागियो ना मे बी एटा करेक्ट हिते पारे मु याकू काहे की रॉन्ग मानी. When you think something is very risky and you don't want to take risk, then you are already out of the competition, believe me. But you can only take risk if you have internalized these tricks, and the way to do that is to use the trick. To use the trick माने कोन ट्रिक एठी क्लास रे पढुचो ताको जाई की प्रैक्टिस करियार अछि. Okay, so learn the tricks here and use all of those tricks in mocks. Okay, let me tell you one warning here also. It is not necessary that all of the tricks that you learn here are going to work very well in the mock tests. Why? Because mock tests, these are being done by what? Coaching center institutes, coaching centers. Coaching center is mock are a bit different from UPSC. Actually, all the tricks that we have discussed, we are discussing on the basis of UPSC PYQs. So ଏବେ ଯଦି କଣ ଏଇ trick କୁ ଲଗେଇକି mock test ରେ ତମର ଏତେ ଭଲ mark ବି ଆସିଲା ନାହିଁ, don't get disheartened or anything. Ultimately, you have to apply this in the actual exam. I had also given you this insight that you see mock test ମାନଙ୍କର quality ଆଉ UPSC ର actual जो pre ର quality ଭିତରେ huge difference ରହିବ. Why? Because mock test coaching center वाला ସେମାନେ ବର୍ଷକୁ minimum 50-60 କି even more, maybe even 100 tests they need to uh, make on similar topics. But UPSC makes only one question paper. So here they have more time, they have more resources, they can do a better, more difficult, more random kind of questions where these tricks are more relevant. Here maybe all those tricks will not work, but here don't be disheartened. Use the tricks, keep faith and use the tricks. Any trick that we have discussed here, none of these are completely illogical. There is some logic to it. Exaggeration ho, extreme words ho, justification ho, किंवा showing government in a good light, जहाँ पे हम discuss करें, कुछ भी illogical. We are using all of these tricks. We are using on the basis of some logic, right? So have faith in yourself, in your ability, and use them. Practice न करें, जिनसे वोड़ा exactly exam रे करिया को डर लगे. हम specifically numbering करके trick मान कर नाम दे दे रहा हूँ because कौन होगा कि exam रे actually जो question statement देखियो, तुमको दी immediately trick रो नाम भी मन पड़ी जीवा ना, then you will be more confident. I personally felt it. तुमको जदी ओवरऑल गोटे खाली वाइब्स रे जाउचो, तुमको ट्रिक रो नाम माने नहीं, सेते कॉन्फिडेंटली काटी परियो नहीं. तुमको लागिवो कि भूल अछि, बट फिर भी एलिमिनेट करिया को तुमको डर लागियो बिकॉज़ यू वांट टू प्ले सेफ. बट इफ यू नो कि दीस आर द ट्रिक्स शोइंग गवर्नमेंट इन, देखो गोटे स्टेटमेंट आसियो आसियो से मन पड़े यार रैंडम नंबर्स, गोटे स्टेटमेंट से बेले आसियो मन पड़े कि हां व्हेन ऑप्शन हिंट्स एट आंसर, एटा मे बी से ट्रिक यूज. स्वैपिंग ऑप्शंस, दुईटा ऑप्शंस माने सिमिलर लागुची, दुईटा सॉरी दुईटा कंटेंट एमती अपोजिट अछि, दुईटा ऑप्शन तुमको लागुची कि यार मते लागुची एई कंटेंट टा बोधे एई स्टेटमेंट रे फिट हो, एई कंटेंट टा बोधे एई तळ स्टेटमेंट रे फिट हो, देन इमीडिएटली मन पड़ी गेला अरे हां स्वैपिंग ऑप्शन गोटे थिला, गोटे ट्रिक. सो इट इज प्रोबेबली दैट ट्रिक वी आर गोइंग टू यूज. ओके, सिमिलरली रेड फ्लैग वर्ड, ग्रीन फ्लैग वर्ड मन पड़ जो कि यार नेवर, ऑल, नन, दीज आर द रेड फ्लैग वर्ड्स. गोटे क्वेश्चन आसते थियो मेनी ऑफ दीज थिंग्स, मन पड़ जाए अच्छा मेनी ऑफ दीज थिंग माने दिस इज ए ग्रीन फ्लैग. So confidence, you will have confidence, no doubt. So have faith in whatever tricks or skill we are developing here and use them in the mock test. Even if you are not getting very good marks in the mock test, still it is fine. I'll tell you one last point from my own experience. In 2021 cycle, 2021 रो जेबे प्रिलिम्स थिला तार जस्ट किछि दिन आगरो मु गोटे बहुत वेरी वेल नोन ऑल इंडिया ओपन टेस्ट दे सो सेथे मोर मार्क्स थिला आई थिंक 75 और 76 67 और 76 ए वाला किछ मोर एग्जैक्टली मन पड़ मु बहुत ही प्रैक्टिस करथली दैट ईयर आई हैड टेकन 107 नंबर ऑफ मॉक टेस्ट आई हैड सॉल्व्ड दिस मेनी नंबर ऑफ टेस्ट so my confidence by then was very high. But just before prelims, I don't know why I took this test and I got how much more marks? 67 or 70, more exactly monopole. So I was very, very disheartened because previous year 2020, I think cutoff was still, I think, around 100 or something. 90, 95 to 100 around this figure was there. 95 to 100 एक तरह करते थे लाउड cutoff general category. And here I was getting 67. We usually expect what? Previous year cutoff जेती थी हमें सेटा को भाभी चल था. तो मत लगे कि यार मत तो एटलीस्ट ट्रिपल डिजिट तो गोटे स्कोर करियार थिला सो फॉर अ मोमेंट आई रियली पैनिक आई थॉट कि मे बी मु जति सारा ट्रिक आ स्किल डेवलप करछि ना मे बी आ किछि भी काम दबनी एक्चुअल एग्जाम रे सब गुडा भूली बट मे बी सम कॉमन सेंस prevailed and I thought कि ना I should believe in my own abilities. I have developed these skills by giving so many tests. तो किछि ना किछि गोटे इंटरनलाइज हिछि ना किछि गोटे भलो जिंस थियो. So in the actual exam I believed in myself and actually I scored more than 10 marks from the cutoff. Okay? 10 marks more than the cutoff. So this is the value of not only developing the tricks but also practicing. Practice करके एते सारा practice करियो कि finally एटा internalize ही एग्जाम रे तुमको पैनिक लागियो नहीं एंजाइटी लागियो नहीं कॉन्फिडेंटली ट्रिक को यूज करते रहियो. ओके एनी अदर डाउट्स?
So practice in mocks or practice in the PYQ, sir?
PYQs तो एबे सुधा तुमको सब प्रैक्टिस कर नबार थिला PYQs भी आउरी बाकी रखि छै
नहीं सर
PYQ
हाँ
PYQs तो सॉरी थियो ना डिस्कशन मैक्सिमम
हाँ
प्राय एते सारा डिस्कस हो तो एबे मॉक्स ही दोता.
ओके
This is not an either or scenario, my friend. It is not at all an either or scenario कि whether I will do only mocks, whether I will do only PYQs. PYQ तो you can never ignore. PYQ तो जहाँ ले भी हमको करियर है. हम सब डिस्कशन PYQs थ्रू नहीं करूँ. Random coaching center रो तो क्वेश्चन करूँ ना. But still it is important to give mocks because PYQs is very limited. First of all, second of all, it is not necessary कि exact same PYQ पढ़ियो. All the themes will be repeated definitely. PYQs options will be repeated. Therefore, I have also given you that options research document. Have you seen that? 2013 to 2022. I am
Yes,
trying to finish the 2023 वाला options भी. Time टिके लागुची, but ठीक अछि. But for the timing, go through it. I know that many of the options you already know about it. Still some other options you may not know. तो जो जो option पढ़ा जानी नथिलो ता विषय background detail किसी चीज दिया है. Go through it. ताको पूरा घोषियार नहीं. Just माने लाइट रीडिंग करथो किछि किछि जिंस मने पड़िथो बिकॉज़ किछि किछि ऑप्शन सेतु रिपीट हो डेफिनेटली 15 to 20 options out of them will be in some or other statements in the next exam for sure. Okay. So you right now you don't have the luxury ki either or समझे एबे तुम कहे कि एबे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करियार अछि ना हमकु माने मॉक टेस्ट लिखियार अछि ना हमकु रिवाइज करियार अछि. Now it is not an either or option. Okay, now you have to do both. So you have to do both. Okay,
ओके
Smriti Rupa, right?
यस सर
Okay. Okay, I think I don't know if you have attended previous these same sessions. If you have not attended, then please watch the videos. Okay, YouTube रे देखी दो 1.5x रे. But all of you, I would say कि try to attend classes online and live classes attend करो.
हाँ
One
सर
last
मोर
thing I want to tell you. हाँ, go. Okay, go.
हाँ सर sure sir actually मोर टिके से टाइमिंग मिस हे गला आपण जो कहिथिले से टाइम रे म अटेंड कर पालिनी बट यूट्यूब रो किछिटा कवर अप करि सारछि सर सेटा आउ थरे रिवाइज कर
ठीक है, perfect. Next class है अल्प किछि अछि हम सारी देबु. Then one last thing I want to tell you is कि देखो लाइव क्लास आसी सकाळ 7 रे उठी क्लास करिया पीडीएफ तुमको मु दे देबी नोट तापर ताको देखि रिवाइज करिया ताकू एग्जाम रे हेटाकू फॉलो करिया बहुत सारा मॉक टेस्ट यूज करिया no doubt all of these are difficult okay I know it is very difficult for me also ମୁଁ ବି ସକାଳୁ ଉଠିକି ରେଡି ପ୍ରିପେୟାର ହେଇକି କାହିଁକି ଏତେ ପରିଶ୍ରମ କରିବି ତ ମୁଁ କହିବି କି यार PYQ just ପଢି ଦିଅ but my point is I have realized that these small efforts matter a lot out of 100 people 90 people will think कि after studying 6-7 hours ठीक ଅଛି यार मैथ कोटे नहीं दिया एते कौन पढ़ी कौन but there would be out of 100 people 10 people who would go that extra mile. So do not hesitate to go to that extra mile. It will reap you rich dividends. Believe me, out of even in this group, there are around, I think, 40 people around there. Let's say 35 people are students. So, but daily I see that not daily, our usual classes, I see hardly 5-6 students come regularly. Okay. Some people come in one session, don't come in another session. Okay, चलो किसी यदि काम अच्छे तो अलग कथा. But यदि कहीं lazy feel करके आसु नहीं, I'm not saying just about this class. Maybe they would have also joined some other courses, other institutes, other courses. They have joined, but they are not attending the classes. Why? Because they will think कि यार आज ही क्लास अच्छी, but मोर पेंडिंग किसी काम अच्छी, तो मु पेंडिंग काम कर दिए क्लास पर करती. और यही टॉपिक का तो मु जानी चाहिए, एटा किसी ऐसे वैसे दरकार नहीं. Believe me, I have felt this from my own experience. Those people who avoid this kind of thinking and who go to that extra mile, they are that 1% who clear the exam. Okay, and you guys are among that percentage who are not different from your competitors in terms of talent or anything. You are only different from them in terms of attitude. And I always say that at the end of the day, the people who will clear this exam are going to clear this exam on the basis of their skills and attitude. Okay. Skill and attitude. Coming to the class, attending this live, this is attitude. Skill you will develop through this, whatever I'm giving you, through this you will develop. But have this champion mindset that we had talked about. Have this champion mindset that I will try to attend classes, I will try to ask my doubts, I will be I will take active participation in the class, and I will use that skill in actual exam. I'll use it in the mock test, I'll use it in the actual exam. There are not many people who are doing this right now, believe me. And as your your date of exam comes nearer and nearer, the more number of people will fall out of the race just out of laziness or just out of exhaustion. In IR out of both enough real. And they are not going to clear. I know for sure those people who are involved in the process till the end, they are the ones who are going to clear. Okay, they are not special in any other way. They are not very talented or anything. They are just more determined. So just be more determined, be more involved. Okay, usually empty motivational talk diye nahi, but I thought that this is necessary because your exam is coming nearer and you might feel ki why should I attend classes, not only this class but also any other class that you might have joined that you feel that is necessary for you in maybe in other institution also. If you feel it is beneficial, then no matter how difficult it seems, please attend those classes. Please do what they are saying. Please go through assignments, daily targets, whatever you have decided for yourself, do it. Okay, the difference at the end of the day will come from your attitude. Okay, so we'll meet for the next class. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
That's it for the day. Class is dismissed.